Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Mic road. 511. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. I like Bentley.
You like it?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium, where it's Teacher Appreciation Night tonight. My name is Bentley Love, and alongside with me is Archer O'Neill calling color, as well as Matthew Middleton manning the controls. Tonight, the 0-6 Lions will be taking on the 1-5 Corsicana Tigers. The Lions come off of an away game in Ennis where they lost by a score of 52-15, and the Tigers are coming off a loss as they fell to the Poteet Pirates by a score of 25-13 in Corsicana last week. Archer, the Tigers' defense has given up an average of 28 points a game. With Phoenix Rodriguez done for the season, what do you think is the secret for the Lions to get ahead tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to our running back play. The Greenville Lions have come out with this amazing running back trio made up of Jaden Johnson, Tobias Abram, and Daniel Renner. And I think, realistically, if we're not passing well tonight, it's really going to come down to those three guys with our backup quarterback.
Yeah, I definitely think you're right. And talking about the backup quarterback, we've got Bryson Sanders starting tonight, as well as a new name, Julian Ramos, backing him up. So it'll be interesting to see if we see Ramos at all tonight and what all the Lions get going. The Tigers are averaging right around 12 points a game on the offensive side of the ball. The Lions are going to be without Reagan Goggins and Noah Davenport tonight, but besides that, they seem to be pretty much healthy on the defensive side of the ball. Archer, both Goggins and Davenport are a big piece in the secondary for this Lions defense. Without them tonight, what do you expect to see, or who do you expect to see step up tonight for the defense?
Yeah, there's a few names, but firstly, I'd like to see Cameron Clayton step up. He's a sophomore on this varsity team, and we've seen him here and there as a backup, fill-in player, but he's getting the start tonight at safety, and I'd really like to see him step up into that role and really make the most of his night tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And moving on with that, we got one key player that'll be back tonight for the Lions, and that is Chris Whitus, number 5. He's a sophomore wide receiver and has been having a really good season. He also plays a little bit of defense, so maybe we'll see him step up a little bit tonight with the subtractions of Goggins and Davenport. Archer, how do you think the Lions will look to get Whitus involved on the offensive side of the ball tonight, seeing how it looks like Sanders will be the starter and isn't as much of a passer as Rodriguez is?
Yeah, I think there's going to be more creative plays. Last week we saw a little bit of that creativity in and out of the game. We showed signs of reverses and little fun plays. So I think getting Chris Whitus the ball on one of those reverses, as he is a fast player, would be a nice addition to this team. And I think he can make some big plays as he has all season.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we've seen Whitus run some plays like that earlier in the season, as well as Aiden Lewis and a few other guys. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what the Lions do tonight to try and make something happen as they're looking for whatever they can get going to hopefully get a win tonight and maybe get some points on the board early. So we're going to be back with starting lineups and the kickoff temperature for y'all after this word from Juice.
At Juice, we're proud of our competitive electric rates. And if you want to save even more, think about changing your thermostat by 4 degrees on some of the hottest or coldest days of the year. We call it 4 degrees of savings, and it's one way you can save money so you can have more nights out, more ice cream cones, and more fun with your family. Juice, hometown service, world-class reliability.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to get started here with the offense. At tight end tonight for the Greenville Lions, it'll be junior number 22, Damian Bankston. At H-back, it'll be junior number 12, Ethan Brand. At quarterback, it'll be the aforementioned junior number 10, Bryson Sanders. At running back, it'll be senior number 23, Jaden Johnson. And at the wide receivers for the Lions will be sophomore number 5, Chris Whitus, and senior number 2, Caleb Hale. The big guys up front for the Lions tonight will be sophomore number 77, Levi Davenport at left tackle, senior number 69, Victor Osornio at left guard, senior number 55, Nicholas Just at center, senior number 54, Braden Maps at right guard, and junior number 60, Mario Valentine at right tackle. Archer, what's it looking like on the defensive side of the ball for the Lions?
Yeah, it's looking like our defensive line is staying the same as it was last week with Cash Garcia, the junior, the sophomore Ligarian Savage, and the junior Makai McEwen, as well as pretty much the rest of the defense staying the same as Aiden Lewis gets the start, the senior cornerback and captain. Mark Dumas gets the start at the other side on corner, the junior. And our 2 safeties will be Cameron Clayton, the sophomore, and Caleb Yost, the senior, with our linebacker trio being senior Jaden Johnson, senior Cody Waldrop, and junior Ethan Brand.
Yeah, so definitely some big names out there for the Lions, and definitely be interesting to see what all they get going and who all we see play tonight. As we were talking before the game, and the Lions have pulled up several JV players tonight to play, and most of them are sitting in backup roles. But the Lions like to rotate in their defensive players at least and get some different guys out there going. So the captains for the Lions tonight are, like Archer mentioned, number 1, Aiden Lewis, number 18, Jamorion Hamilton, who is injured tonight, and number 55, Nicholas Just. So, Archer, were you able to get the guys for Corsicana?
Just barely. I've got number 10, the senior defensive end and tight end. Number 12, Jaden Jones, also a senior defensive end and tight end. Number 17, Antonio Locke, the senior quarterback and wide receiver. And number 15, that is Hector Cervantes, the senior linebacker for the Corsicana Tigers tonight.
Sounds good, sounds good. And with that, we do see Corsicana coming out of their little blow up, and a little bit of interesting how they do things in Corsicana. Typically you see teams fired up and running out of the tunnel immediately, but they all kind of walked out till they got to about the 25 or so, and then took off down the field. So we see Greenville getting ready to come out of their tunnel as we await that, and then we will have the national anthem shortly after. Of course, Greenville is led out by the ROTC flag carriers, and of course running through the lines of flashes and cheerleaders. As here they come. And we see them led out by number 2, Caleb Hale, carrying the American flag, as they go all the way to the end zone and take their helmets off and share a moment as a team before we get started. Archer, what's going through your mind when you come out of that tunnel on Friday night getting ready for the game?
A little bit of nerves, a little bit of excitement. This team's clearly, they've got something to fight for this game. They're looking for their first win in the season, and they want to see their family happy. They want to see their friends happy in the stands, and even our little student section we've got, they want everybody to be happy tonight as they take on these Corsicana Tigers with an easily winnable game tonight.
Yeah, definitely couldn't agree more, and hopefully, like you said, we'll see them come out early and get hot and get something going. So. We see them all join each other on the sideline as we get ready for the ROTC students in uniform to walk out with the flags. And we're going to take a break here for the national anthem, and then we'll be back in a second. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after that beautiful rendition of the national anthem by your Lion Pride band. The band's in some new uniforms again this week, as we saw them bringing out some props and everything for their show, so we may be seeing a full Lion Pride band marching show at halftime, so looking forward to that. Archer, as we are getting ready for kickoff here, what are we looking at temperature-wise?
Yeah, it's real nice weather tonight for a football game especially. It is 69 degrees, and it looks like it's only going to go down from here and probably end around 63 to 61 degrees tonight.
Hey, I'll definitely take it. You know, we've had some really cold days this week, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure these guys are enjoying playing in something a little bit different than 90-degree heat. So the Lions will be receiving to start us off here tonight, as Corsicana will be kicking from the south end of the stadium to the north end. Got quite a bit of wind tonight as the flags are flowing away. And we'll see what happens here with this kick. I believe that is number 25, Giancarlo Zuniga, kicking off for Corsicana. The kick is up, and it's taken by number 2 at the 20-yard line. That's Caleb Hale, as he goes down the middle of the field, got a little bit of room, and then is quickly swallowed up at the 45-yard line. So about a 25-yard return for Hale there, as he was able to pick up some good blocks and make something go.
Yeah, that's a good play to start out the game for the Lions. You know, it's bringing the hype to the team, and I'm sure that offense is ready to get out there and get pumping. That kick was from a sophomore from the Corsicana football team, and as we've seen many times this season, it was nice to actually see a normal kickoff routine out there from the other team, as we've seen some strange kickoff routines from the other side.
We definitely have. So we see Sanders and his offense get out on the field. Sanders standing at about the 41-yard line here, waiting to take the snap. Puts a man in motion. That's Whitus. Gives the handoff. Not quite sure who that was.
Looked like Jaden Johnson to me, number 23 for the Lions, and he was taken down by number 1, Damone Brown, the junior from the Corsicana Tigers.
Yeah, so a great run there by Johnson, as it was a pickup of about 8, so bring up 2nd and 2 here for the Lions. Sanders has got 2 receivers split out right, 1 out left. Takes a snap, drop back. He's looking for a pass here early. He's rolling out to his right. He decides to keep it himself. He runs it out to about the 37-yard line or so, maybe gets out across the 35 for a Lions first down.
Yeah, that was a good play call from the Lions. You know, it looked like we had a lot of receivers open downfield, as Sanders took it himself and picked up probably about 8 to 10 yards on that one before he was tackled by the captain for the Corsicana defense, number 12, Jaden Jones.
Yeah, so definitely a good play there, as he did have some receivers open. Might have been able to complete a pass to one of them, but we know Sanders is really good at moving the ball with his legs, and so don't blame him at all for holding on to it there. Puts a man in motion. It's Whitus. Takes a snap. Throws a quick pass to Hale. Hale's got a little bit of room as he dances around and gets down to about the 26-yard line before going out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a nice screen pass, as Whitus came over and made that lead block for Hale, as Whitus basically told him, go outside because I'm blocking in, and he did exactly that and picked up a first down.
Yeah, and that's something that's really good there for the Lions. Is communication is definitely key. They were able to communicate there and get something going. Sanders in the backfield, joined by Johnson. Got an H-back back there, as well as 2 receivers out left. Johnson goes out right. Looking for Johnson. He looks downfield. He's got Damian Bankston, but it's picked off by number 1, Damone Brown. And Brown gets all the way back to about the Lions' 39-yard line before being forced out of bounds.
Yeah, and that just looked like a play that he wanted to make, but just didn't see Damone back there hiding behind Damian Bankston, number 22 for the Lions. Is that turnover will bring 1st and 10 from about the 45-yard line for the Corsicana Tigers.
Yeah, and there were a couple penalties on the play, but it looked like they called them offsetting.
Yeah, it looked like it was a illegal man downfield on the Lions, which obviously Corsicana is going to deny that one as they want that ball.
Yeah, so it'll give Corsicana the ball here at the 41-yard line. Bring up 1st and 10 as their offense gets ready to get something going here. Wasn't able to find before the game who exactly their starting quarterback is, but we'll get that number for you just as quick as we can, and then, of course, get the name with it. Got 3 receivers split out left and 1 out right. Puts a man in motion. Pass complete to number 5. He gets down to about the Lions, or Corsicana, 48-yard line or so.
Yeah, and he was quickly tackled by Tyler Trexel, the senior from the Lions defense, as it looks like Corsicana's kind of going in a fast-paced offense here.
2 receivers out right, 2 out left. And that quarterback is number 9, Jabraylon Jones, sophomore for Corsicana. Takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. Goes around the left and gets out almost for a first down there. They may call it a first down.
And that was a nice tackle from Ethan Brand out there on defense, the linebacker, as he definitely saved a bigger play from happening there.
And that was number 0, Kenan Murphy, on the carry for Corsicana, as it's going to bring up 2nd and 1 here after the pickup of 9. Jones looks to his sideline. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy goes up the middle and drags a couple tacklers with him before being taken down at about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Jaden Johnson grabbed him by the waist and basically let 30, Cameron Clayton, the sophomore, come and hit him with an easy free shot to make him feel that one a little bit later.
Yeah, definitely, and a good team tackle there to keep him from picking up any more yardage. As Corsicana's looking at a 1st and 10 here. Looks to his left. He was going for Pete Ruiz, but was not able to connect, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was good defense from the Lions all around. We had great pass rush from our linemen, as well as great defense from Cameron Clayton out there on Pete Ruiz.
Jones looking to his own sideline. Gets the play, talking it over with his lineman. He's going to have 3 receivers out right as well as 1 out left. Jones takes the snap, dropping back, looking to his left. He's got number 11. And that's going to be a pickup of about 3, but no more than that, as multiple lines got to him really quick there.
Yeah, and the Lions defense was ready for that one. Aiden Lewis did not budge on that little screen play, or I guess bubble route from number 11 right there. Jameel Taylor. And like I said, Aiden Lewis was ready for that one and made the play. Brings up 3rd down and about 7 for the Corsicana Tigers.
Yeah, so 3rd and long here for Corsicana. Jones takes the snap, drop back. He's looking to his right. He decides to keep it himself and scramble, but he's got a man, so he throws it. And that's going to be a Corsicana touchdown there, as it was a good pass by Jones. Not sure what the number is on that gentleman over there, but a great pass as he found him with nobody between him and the end zone and was able to get in just right before being hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the receiver was, but it looked like number 4, Dumas, was in coverage on that side and just missed his man on that one. As the sophomore kicker, Giancarlo Zuniga, will come out for the extra point from the 10-yard line.
Kick is up. And it's good, bringing the score Corsicana Tigers 7, Greenville Lions 0. As there's a tick under 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock, and Greenville will be getting the ball back here as they're going to look to make something happen.
I think it's possible for this Lions offense, as we saw them almost get 3 first downs on back-to-back plays on that first drive before that killer interception. But, let's hope they can come out swinging like they did and, end up in the end zone rather than in their own end zone this time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And the Lions, they just got to do a good job about. They got to do a really good job about not getting into their own head. They gotta treat this game like it's a 0-0 scoreboard, and that didn't just happen and go out there and make something happen here.
Absolutely.
Swing the momentum back in their direction, without a doubt. Zuniga's got 5 guys out left and 5 guys out right as he sets up here for the kick. 2 guys back deep for the Lions. Zuniga's kick is up. And it's taken at the 25-yard line as the line receiver cuts back and gets all the way up to the 40. That was number 1, Aiden Lewis, so a great return there by Lewis.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back good returns from the Lions, as it seems like they've probably been working on that one, as they've both missed a few guys and were in straight up the field ready for that end zone. So good to see them making additions and making improvements on their team as they come into the later part of the season.
Yeah, definitely an improvement from last week and the weeks before for the Lions. Lions offense led by Sanders is coming out, setting up here at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Sanders is joined in the backfield by an H-back as well as 2 running backs. Takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's number 23, Jaden Johnson. And Johnson gets up to about the 43-yard line or so before being stopped.
Yeah, and the closest man to him after that whistle was blown was Israel Cornejo, the senior defensive and offensive lineman. So first time we'll call his name, and maybe not the last tonight.
Yeah, so pick up about 3.5, so we'll call it 2nd and 7 here. As Sanders looks to his sideline to get the play. He's got it. He's standing back at his own 37-yard line. Puts a man in motion. It's Whitus. Sanders takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson, and Johnson gets up for maybe a gain of about half a yard or so before being taken down.
Yeah, and it looks like he was just caught by his shoelaces once again by Jaden Jones. So Jaden tackled Jaden on that play, as that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Lions offense, as hopefully they can get this first down to continue this drive.
Yeah, so 3rd and 6 here for the Lions, as we see Whitus going out left and Hale going out right. Sanders standing at his own 38-yard line. And timeout Greenville, as we're going to take a timeout with them, and we'll be back after this word from Juice.
Welcome to the heart of our community, where moments are made and the people power dreams. Juice is your hometown, nationally recognized, reliable public power provider. Our dedicated team works around the clock to ensure you have power when you need it. We're not just a utility, we're your neighbors and your friends. Have a question? Need support? We're here, right down the street, ready to help. Juice, the power that keeps your hometown glowing. Reliable, local, and committed to you. Visit us online at geus.org or call us today at 903-457-2800.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Lions are looking at a 3rd and 6 situation here with a little over 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Sanders standing at his 39-yard line, moves Brand from the left side to the right, takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson runs it up the middle, bounces off, and gets all the way up to about the 45-yard line of Corsicana after being hit and broke free, but was off balance enough that he stumbled and ended up falling down at about the 45. So good pickup there, as it looks like there's an injured Tiger on the field here. So definitely not something you want to see this early in the game.
And you hate to see that one because that's number 12, the one that's been making all the plays for that Corsicana defense. Is hopefully he'll be able to get up as he is and get off the field and be safe tonight.
Yeah, he appears to get up mostly under his own power and walking off, but he's looks like maybe it's his shoulder that's hurting. And unfortunately, we probably won't know what it is that's ailing him, but good sign that he got up and walked off that quickly by himself.
Most definitely, and that's just the heart in him wanting to play the rest of this game as it just barely started.
Yeah, you're definitely right. So the Lions get a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 here from the Corsicana 44. Sanders puts Whitus in motion. Takes a snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson, and Johnson breaks up the middle and picks up what looks to be 9 yards there. And looks like it's going to bring up 2nd and 1 here for the Lions.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back plays made possible by Ethan Brand at H-back as the Lions are ready to make the 2nd down conversion, putting Whitus back in motion and seems to be running the same play as Jaden Johnson's back free for about 4 or 5 yards for a 1st down for the Greenville Lions.
Yeah, about 5 there, so good pickup by Johnson. They're giving it to him a lot, but it's still working so far, so definitely a good play to run there and bring up 1st and 10 from Corsicana's 30.
Yeah, and once again, 3 plays back-to-back from Ethan Brand making a big-time block for Jaden Johnson in the backfield.
Hands it off to Johnson. And Johnson gets up to about the 25, maybe 24-yard line before being taken down. And there's a flag in the backfield, so that may be coming back here.
Yep, and it looks like they called holding on the offensive side of the ball, so that will come back on the Lions and bring them back 1st down.
Yeah, so not what you want to see there after that good run is that's going to bring them back 10 yards and bring up 1st and 20 here for the Lions. Archer, what do you think the chances are we see a pass play here?
Well, with 3 receivers out to the right, I'd like to agree that we will.
Sanders looking to his sideline. Gets the play from his coaches, talks to his line, lets them know what's going on. Sanders takes a snap, makes the handoff, keeps it. He's under pressure. He keeps it and runs with it himself as he gets up to about the 28 or so. Good pickup there for Sanders as it's going to bring up probably about 2nd and 8 here, but there is an injured Corsicana Tiger. And this gentleman is not popping up as quick as the last one, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, but not looking too great for him. As both sides are going to give him some space, and the trainers are going to look him over, and they're going to talk things over. It was a great pickup, Archer, by Sanders there, as it looked like a broken play, but he was able to make something of it.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of confusion from the receivers. One of them started to run a route, and the other 2 kind of stood still and didn't really know where they were going. So good play from Sanders to make something out of nothing and at least pick up about 9 yards on that one.
Yeah, definitely. And what you want to see out of your quarterback, too, the ability to keep the ball and make something out of nothing. So as he turned that 1st and 20 to a 2nd and 9, which still 2nd and long, but it's much better than what the alternative could have been when you're looking at 1st and 20 there.
Yeah, he turned that frown right upside down and brought up 2nd and 9 for the Lions.
Yeah, definitely. So we did see that gentleman walk off the field pretty much under his own power, so that is a good sign, as I believe that was number 31, Josiah Lopez, defensive end, a junior defensive end for the Tigers. So Sanders standing at his 34-yard line, takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson. Johnson's got a big hole as he gets up all the way to about the 22 or so there. 23. So a pickup of about 6 on the play, bring up 3rd and 3 here. Sanders takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson again as Johnson's trying to find something, but there's nothing there.
Yeah, he had nothing. The line collapsed right in front of his face, and he couldn't go anywhere with that one. Is number 55. Nick just goes and gets the football for his team, so he can snap it actually, and continue this drive.
Yeah, so they're going to call that a loss of about 3 on the play. So it'll bring up 4th and 7 as the Lions are going to go for it here. Excuse me, 4th and 6. Sanders and his team looking to the sideline to get the play. Sanders standing at his 31-yard line, puts Johnson in motion, takes the snap, keeps it himself. He rolls to the right, and he's fighting for some yardage as he gets up. Looks to be about a yard shy, and being 4th down, that's not going to be enough, as he did actually lose his helmet on the play, too.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a confidence thing from the coaches, but I would have liked to see Sanders pass the ball on that play. It's 4th and long, we need the first down, but they called a quarterback keeper, and he did as much as he could to try and get that first down, as Corsicana will get that turnover on downs.
Yeah, so Corsicana will take over on the Greenville 21-yard line here with just under 3 minutes left in this first quarter. And I agree. I think it's something where Sanders can throw the ball, but he's a much better runner, so that's probably what they were kind of thinking. But at some point, you kind of look back and 4th and long, that's the time where I think you got to throw the ball there. Low snap there as Jones tries to do something with it, pitches it to his man, and it's a fumble. And it looks like we'll see who jumped on it, as Greenville signaling that it was them. We'll wait for the official signal here. As it looks like it is going to be recovered by Corsicana. But regardless, that was a big play, was definitely blown up by the Lions, as that knocked them back about 5 yards or so, bring up 2nd and 15.
Yeah, and the original pressure was number 52. That is, I just lost his name. Cash Garcia brought that pressure to the quarterback and made him pitch it late, and the running back just wasn't ready, as Lions scrummed for the ball and just couldn't get to it.
Yeah, so good play there by the Lions. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy goes up the middle and picks up about 8 or so on the play. So good pickup there, but being 2nd and 15, that still leaves them with about 3rd and 7 here.
Yeah, and he was tackled by a whole bunch of Lions. And lastly, again, Cameron Clayton came in for a big little hit, as he's trying to make his mark on this game, as he's making his first start of the season.
Yeah, and that's definitely what you want to see. You want to see guys that aren't traditionally playing get out there and make something happen. Jones standing at the 21-yard line, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy gets around the edge. Excuse me, that's not Murphy. That's Christian Evans, junior running back, as he gets around the edge and picks up a first down there for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he was tackled by Tyler Trexel, as Corsicana is ready for this next play. And looks like Greenville had to call a timeout, as they just weren't ready for that one, running people on and off the field.
Yeah, Corsicana definitely moving really quick there, as we're going to take a break with them here, and we'll be back after this word from Juice.
For more than a year now, the Juice Roundup program has helped neighbors in need by you giving just a little. We still need your help to help those who need it, and there are 3 ways you can choose to participate. 1. Commit to rounding up your bill to the nearest dollar and donating 1 cent to 99 cents per month. 2. Choose a recurring set amount contribution. 3. Choose a one-time set amount contribution. The Juice Roundup program is easy to participate in and has the ability to make a huge impact on someone else in our community. Your ability to help is the only thing that matters.
And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium, as the Lions are standing here against Corsicana. Corsicana's looking at 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Jones standing on his 30. Takes the snap, drops back. He's looking for his receiver. He's got number 11, but it's broken up, and goes down, as that was number 1, Aiden Lewis, in for Greenville.
Yeah, and another great play by Lewis, who's a big-time player for this Lions defense and offense as of last week. And, he may have gone a little extra, but he might have just thought the receiver had the ball in his hands and made the tackle. So good pass breakup and good play from Aiden Lewis there.
Yeah, and saw him talking to the ref a little bit after that, and I think that's probably what he was saying to the ref. Hey, I didn't know if he had the ball or not. I just had to make sure he didn't get out of my hands. And understandably so, as there was no flag on the play, so that's good for the Lions. 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. Gets up to about the 40, so a pickup of about 5 there for number 6, Evans.
Yeah, and it looked like he was met first by Trenton Clayton, the junior, who I believe might be an addition from the JV squad this week, as he makes a big play on his first play on varsity, I'd assume.
I think you're right. I think he is. 35 seconds left here in the first quarter. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Evans. Evans is getting around the edge and is tackled right at about the 46-yard line or so that'll be enough for a Corsicana first down.
Yeah, and that was a big play. An exciting thing to see is Caleb Yost made that tackle on that play. He came low and hit him, but it's good to see Caleb Yost back on the field after this rough season he's had with injuries.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So Corsicana looking at 1st and 10 here from their own 47-yard line, as the first quarter is going to wind down there, and both sides are going to break and talk things over, and then be back with some second quarter action here. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back. And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we are about to get the second quarter underway. Greenville's looking at a 7-0 deficit here as Corsicana is standing on their own 47-yard line and looking to get something going.
Yeah, this Greenville defense has been standing their ground recently in this game. Through the first quarter, they've been playing a pretty good game, and would hopefully like to see them stop this Corsicana offense and force a punt and see what our offense can do this game.
Yeah, definitely agree. As both sides of the ball for Greenville have looked better today. It's just been some stallments on the offensive side once they get down closer to the red zone there, not been able to get quite into the red zone and not been able to punch anything in.
Something I like to see from the Corsicana offense is they've got a sophomore backfield. Both the quarterback and running back are sophomores.
Yeah, definitely interesting as Jones takes a snap and hands it off to his running back. That was Evans, who picked up about 6 or 7 on the play there. Called a pickup of 4, actually, excuse me.
Yeah, and good defense from the Lions. We had good pressure from the defensive line, who almost got to him before he made it around the edge, but he did, and the linebackers made the rest of that play.
Yeah, so 2nd and 6 here for the Tigers. Jones takes the snap. He looks to his receiver out left. He's got him. And that's going to be a pickup of about 6 or 7 there, as that should give Corsicana the first down, as that was the Jones to Ruiz connection again.
Yeah, and it looked like Mark Dumas kind of started bailing on that one, ready for a deep ball, as they threw that screen pass underneath, and Dumas came back and made the play for him.
Yeah, so that's going to be a pickup of 5 there, bring up 3rd and 1 here for the Tigers. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Evans. And it looks like Greenville's defense may have stood strong there. No, he was able to get it. Well, real close there as it was a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play, but all he needed was 1, so.
Yeah, and that'll bring up another 1st and 10. That'll bring up another 1st and 10 for this Corsicana offense as they're slowly but surely moving down the field on them.
Yeah, so Jones looking to his sideline, gets his play, takes the snap, so drops it. He's under a lot of pressure as he's hit twice and eventually taken down in the backfield for a sack, as there were multiple lines in on that play.
Yeah, after a few missed tackles, it looked like Ligarian Savage came up for the sack on number 9, the quarterback, who's kind of limping after that one, as he may be hurting from that bigger guy falling on his leg.
Well, and I can understand so, as he was hit by one dude low, and he was able to get out of that one, and then he was jumped on by a couple other big guys, and imagine he's not feeling too great there. But it will bring up 2nd and 16 here for the Tigers, as we're looking at probably a pass play. He's going to roll out to his left, look to pass, and it's broken up and picked by the Lions, as that's got a big return there as he gets all the way down to the Corsicana 35 there. As we'll get that number here just as quick as we can.
Oh, that was Caleb Yost for the Lions defense with his 2nd interception of the season.
It's a huge play there by the senior safety. And you definitely feel his presence on that football field.
Oh yeah, somebody the Lions have missed throughout this season he's happy to be back, as well as the team's happy for him to be back too.
So that gives the offense their best field position to start the game, or to start a drive here. As that ball was tipped and then bounced around in the air for a little while, and then Yost was able to run under it and make something happen there.
Yeah, what a great all-around defensive play from the Lions. Is, like we've said, they're stepping up tonight.
Sanders takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson. And Johnson gets up to about the 33 there for a pickup of about 4.
Yeah, and he was swallowed by a few of those big guys on the defensive line as the Lions are in their hurry-up offense ready to make a touchdown.
Bring up 2nd and 6 here for the Lions. Sanders takes the snap but gets him to jump, so great play there by the Lions.
Yeah, and you'd like to see the refs let that one play, but it seems that they may have called a false start on the Lions, rather.
How could that be 55? They're saying Nick Just. How can a center be offsides? He's got the ball. You can see Nick Just is upset about that too.
Mm-hmm.
They're calling it on him, and he's the center. You can't call offsides on the center.
Yeah, so the penalty is going to go against Just there, as Just is visibly frustrated with that call. So it'll bring up 2nd and 12 here for the Lions.
That was a bad call.
Sanders standing at his 43-yard line. Takes the snap, looks to his left, he's under pressure, and he's taken down, and it's fumbled, but as that's going to go all the way back for a Corsicana touchdown here. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and that ball was stripped by number 10, Jerry Escamilla. However, as Bentley mentioned, there is a flag on the play, but it may be an offensive holding on number 5, Chris Whitus, so this play may stand.
Yeah, we'll see here in just a second as Greenville is running their defense out there on the field. So I believe it probably was on the offense.
No, defense. Wait a minute. He just pointed that way.
Yeah, and it looks like, as I mentioned, it was a penalty on the Lions, so that play will stand and the touchdown will stand, as Giancarlo Zuniga will come out for the extra point once again.
Yeah, so crazy turn of events there, as what had potential to be something really good turned into something not good.
Yeah, and the Lions sideline goes from ecstatic to a little annoyed and upset, it seems.
It's a low snap. The kick is up. And it's good. So that brings the score, Corsicana Tigers 14, Greenville Lions 0. And like Archer said, kind of little, not ecstatic or not in a very good mood here on the Lions sideline here. Is understandably so, as a strange turn of events, we'll say, on that drive is the penalty on Just, which was a little questionable, and then all that else that happened. So.
Yeah, and it seems like everybody's getting a stern talking to from head coach David Collins, as nobody's very excited about that one.
All right, so we're looking here as Corsicana is talking over their kicking plan, I guess. As we're looking at quite a red moon over the high school. Full moon, full looking moon, pretty close, as it looks really good there. So Zuniga's getting ready to kick it off here for Corsicana. As the kick is up. And it's a deep kick, as it's taking it about the 2-yard line for the Lions. That's Whitus, who tried to make something there and was able to get from about the 2 to about the 23 or so. So good pickup of about 21 yards there for Whitus.
Yeah, almost would have liked to see him just kind of let it bounce in the end zone, but truly you never know. However, it does look like there was an offsides on the kicking team on that kickoff, so we may see a little bit of an addition to this one.
Yeah, and you take whatever you can get there in a situation like that.
And never mind, they're going to re-kick this one as Lions decided to accept that penalty.
So they're going to walk them back 5 yards here. So Zuniga will kick it again, this time from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and as a kicker, this one blows, It sucks, and you know now you just got to kick that one as hard as you can and try and make it to the end zone to make up for not really your mistake, but somebody else's.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though you take the penalty.
And what had been a really good kick there for Zuniga, and now you got to try to replicate it and then add 5 more yards to it, so kick it even harder.
Yeah, so we'll likely see another return from either Whitus or Hale on this one, as everybody's been receiving and returning pretty good tonight.
So the kick is up, and it's taken at about the 8-yard line this time, so add about 5 to that last kick. And that is Whitus, who's got some room here, and he gets around, breaks several tackles. There's a couple flags on the play, as Whitus gets out to about the 42 or 43-yard line there before being taken down, but maybe some holding penalties, block on the back penalties, something along those lines here for the Lions, as we'll see here in a second.
Yeah, the common ones are holding, like it is this time, and that's on the receiving team, so that will push the Lions back once again, as these Lions have just been taking killer penalties all night and really messing up their momentum, so hopefully they can make up after this one, as that'll bring the ball back all the way down to the 20-yard line for the Lions.
So the Lions will be looking at 1st and 10 here with 8 minutes left in the first half from their own 20-yard line. So, and that's kind of been the thing for the Lions. They've been pretty good so far about moving the ball. It's just been they've made some stupid mistakes or maybe a turnover with the interception earlier and the fumble that just kind of cost them and stopped it there. So Sanders is joined in the backfield this time by Tobias Abram, number 20. He hands it off to Abram. Abram gets around the left and is tripped up and goes down at about the 23 or so.
Yeah, and once again tripped up just barely by the shoelaces by Damone Brown, the junior on that defense. That'll bring up 2nd and about 8 for these Lions on offense.
Yeah, so Lions looking at about 2nd and 8 here with a little over 20 seconds left on the play clock. Sanders standing in his 17-yard line, looking to his left, got his receiver, that's Hale. And Hale catches the pass, but is quickly met by a couple Tigers and unable to do much with that one after the initial catch.
Yeah, and it looks like forward progress is going to take him all the way down to the 28-yard line and bring up a 3rd and 2 yards.
Yeah, so good pickup there by Hale. As I have a feeling we'll see them hand it off to Jaden Johnson here as he came in and swapped out with Abram. 2 receivers split out right, 1 left. He puts a man in motion. That's Whitus. Takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson goes around the left and looks like he probably got it. As if he didn't, it'll be 4th and inches. And they're going to go ahead and give it to him. So good pickup there by Jaden Johnson. And bring up Lions 1st down here from the 31-yard line. Sanders standing at his 26-yard line. Takes the snap. Looking to his right after the fake. Gets Whitus. Whitus is about to be loose, but not quite as he gets down to about the 40. So a pickup of about 9 there before being taken down.
Yeah, and that's something exciting to see is we've ran that play probably 3 or 4 times tonight, and that's the first time we've actually gotten to pass the ball to the receiver. And it seems to work pretty well as we picked up 8 on that one.
Yeah, great play there. So Whitus comes off for a play.
Looks like the sophomore Wiggins came in, who made a big play last week as he came in for 1 play, got about 8 to 10 yards, and walked back off the field.
Yeah, and we think Wiggins is another one of those JV guys that just got called up. So Sanders hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson. Johnson bounces off a couple guys and gets up to about the 45. So a pickup of about 6 or 7 there, and a 1st down for the Lions.
Yeah, and that was a good play by number 13, the linebacker from the Corsicana defense, Alan Walker, sophomore. So a very young team from this Corsicana team, which may show a little bit of the struggles from their team as they are 1-5 this season. But just kind of like the Lions, we've got a lot of upside from both of these teams as they've got young squads with plenty of progress to make.
Yeah, definitely. Look for both these teams to be better next year. So 1st and 10 for the Lions from the 45-yard line. Puts Brand in motion, takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson, Johnson gets up to right at about the 50. Call it a pickup of 5 there. That was Tobias Abram on the play, not Johnson. Those 20 and 23 look a little similar from way up here in the press box.
Oh, yeah, they do. And everything looks a little similar all the way up here as we do have a pretty nice big stadium here in Greenville. It's pretty full tonight as well as the fans are still coming out to support these Lions every night.
And so take the snap. There's a flag. Looks like probably false start on Greenville.
And there's one of those killers, Bentley. Just another penalty that's going to halt this forward momentum that we had and bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Archer couldn't have said it any better myself. As that's going to bring them back to about the original line of scrimmage there. Bring up 2nd and 10 now. So basically erase that run by Abram. Except you don't get that down back.
Sounds about right.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Lions. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Whitus in motion. Goes from the left side to the right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Abram. And Abram this time is quickly met in the backfield by multiple guys. Like could have been a possible face mask on the play, but it goes uncalled. As the player for Corsicana is enjoying that, I guess, as he's kind of spazzing out at the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably because he's a sophomore, probably making his first big play on this defense. He did make a big one, and Abram had no chance of getting away from him on that play.
Yeah, he definitely did. So that'll bring up 3rd and 14, 3rd and 13 here. That's what they're going to call it. Sanders takes a snap. He's looking to pass. He's under a lot of pressure. He's got it to his running back. That was Johnson, who I thought probably went out of bounds at about the 45, but was able to dance around and get all the way up to about the other 49-yard line. So a good pickup there. They're going to call it the 50, so to bring up 4th and 5 here for the Lions.
Yeah, he looked like a ballerina out there spinning and keeping that play alive. It'll bring up 4th and 5 right from the 50-yard line, or right from the 48-yard line, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so 4th and 3 here.
Ran into his own man.
As the Lions are going to go for it, of course. So going to try and get something going here with a little over 3 minutes left. Sanders getting the play from his sideline, talks it over with his lineman. Sanders standing at his own, and there's a flag as it looked like the play clock hit 0. Oh, they did. Greenville went ahead and burned their last time out here, so we're going to take a timeout with them, and we'll be back in a second.
I own an electric company.
I own a power plant.
I own an internet provider.
Because I'm the owner, real people answer my calls.
Since I'm the owner, I can walk right in and talk to people face to face.
As an owner, a technician comes to my house to make sure my internet problem is fixed right.
At Juice, we treat you like you own the place because you do. Juice, true local ownership.
And welcome back here. Sanders takes the snap. He's looking. I almost had his man, as that was a pass intended for number 2, Caleb Hale, and it was just barely out of Hale's reach. So that'll be a turnover on downs here, as it'll be first down for Corsicana from their 48-yard line.
Yeah, and you might just start to look at it as the Lions haven't finished a drive this game without a turnover, so maybe something needs to change. At least maybe just start punting the ball rather instead of giving them good field position every time.
Yeah, something is. I definitely understand why they're going for it, but it seems like once it ends up 4th down, bad things tend to happen. So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. As Jones is standing at his 43-yard line, takes a snap, hands it off to his running back. That was number 8, C.J. Davis, so somebody new. And Davis was stopped all the way back for a huge loss, back at like the 39-yard line or 40, 41.
Yeah, and who else but Jaden Johnson to make that play, as he has been all night. Running back tackling a running back, you could say, is he might have had a little insight on that one, knowing from personal experience where he was going.
Yeah, so good tackle there by Johnson, as that's going to bring up second in a long way, 2nd and 17 here for Corsicana. Jones takes a snap. It's a little low. He's got his receiver out to the left. That was Pete Ruiz, who picked up maybe about 4 on the play or so, but needed 17, so to bring up 3rd and 13 here.
Yeah, and I think it was a good play from Pete Ruiz. However, I think Jermiel Taylor had a great block on the outside on Mark Dumas and really helped that play at least get a little bit of yards on after the catch.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Jones standing at his 39-yard line. Takes the snap, hands it, fakes the handoff, keeps it himself as he runs up and picks up about 4 on the play, so gets back to about the original 1st and 10, but now it's 4th and 10 there, so got a long way to go here on 4th down, as I'm sure they're going to punt it.
Yeah, and Bentley, sorry to tell you, but that's number 17, Antonio Lockett, quarterback. He was a captain tonight, the senior quarterback and wide receiver listed on the depth chart. So maybe they threw him in as that skill player ready for maybe the faster player, whatever it may be. The coaches definitely had something in mind, but it didn't turn out well for them.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, and I appreciate you correcting me on that.
As it looks like, similar to the Lions, their kicker is also their punter, is Giancarlo Zuniga comes out for the punt, the sophomore.
Yeah, and that looks like number 5, Chris White, is setting up at about the 24-yard line to receive this punt. As it's going to be a penalty against the Tigers.
Yeah, and it looked like maybe a delay of game penalty on them, as it'll push them back another 5 yards. And like you said, I would love to have Chris Whitus back there returning that punt after that kickoff return he just had. So hopefully he can make something with only 1 minute and 14 seconds left before the half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he gets going here.
The Lions almost seem like they're blocking a point after attempt on this one with their full team rushing.
It's interesting, though. Corsicana's not showing anybody out on the edges either, though. So it's a low kick. And it looks like it bounced. So that's going to give Greenville some really good field position here.
I'm not sure what that call is.
I'm not either exactly, but
maybe
Hit the ground.
I guess he accidentally touched his knee on the ground when he got the ball or something, because there's not really a reason that ball should have been called down if it just bounced to him.
Well, that was my thought too, but I didn't see his knee go down, but I guess it did. It's going to set up Greenville 1st and 10 from Corsicana's 31-yard line with 1 minute 10 left to go here. So best situation they've had thus far.
I'm not complaining either. I just am very confused by that one. So
yeah, and we'll definitely take it, but a little bit hard to see what exactly happened from up here in the booth. But that's what it appears to be. So Sanders trots his offense out there, and they're set up for 1st and 10 here. As he takes the snap, he's looking to throw. He's got Whitus. Whitus is dancing around, makes something happen. He's got a little bit of room as he gets down to about the 15 before being tackled, and that'll be good for another Greenville Lions 1st down.
Yeah, and that touchdown-saving tackle was made once again by Alan Walker, the sophomore linebacker, as Greenville is ready to make this touchdown before halftime.
Yeah, so Sanders, and it looks like Corsicana took a timeout there as they had 3 left to burn. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a second.
Juice trims trees all year long because we want first-rate electric reliability. And you know what that makes? Mulch. Lots of mulch. Mountains of mulch. And if you know someone who needs mulch, just come to 502 Wesley Street to pick it up. You'll have to load it yourself, but you can take as much as you want for free. Because it's just one more way Juice is delivering hometown service and world-class reliability.
And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as the Lions have about 56 seconds left here in this first half and are trying to make something happen as they're looking at 1st and 10 from Corsicana's 15. And definitely something good here.
Yeah, and Bentley, after reviewing our own stream, actually, it confirmed that he did touch his knee on the ground whenever he went to punt that ball, and so he was definitely down and gave the Lions great field position.
Yeah, we backed it up, slowed it way down, and you can see clear as day that his knee went down. So Sanders takes the snap. He's looking to his left. He throws it. That's to Hale. Hale drags a man a few yards and gets all the way down to about the 7 and gets out of bounds to stop the clock there, as that play only took about 5 seconds off the clock, so 51 seconds here for the Lions.
Yeah, I'd like to see this heart from the Lions all the time trying to score, but at least we can see it now, and hopefully they'll get in the end zone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here is in an effort to maybe save some clock. You'd think they're going to throw it out to the edge, but being 2nd and 3, I could also see him handing it to Johnson as 2nd and 3 from the 6, or 2nd and 3, from the 8. This is definitely a good play here to hand it to Johnson, I would think, as he picks up 6 or 7 yards, it seems like a lot of times when he gets it. And it looks like Corsicana is going to take another timeout here to talk things over as they're wanting to make sure they got the right play set up here. So they're going to use probably all 3 of their timeouts unless Greenville punches it into the end zone right here. And, I can't say I blame them. You don't get to take them with you into the second half, so you might as well burn them.
Might as well.
And, it's kind of a flip side there is they're going to take the timeout and get to talk things over, but Greenville also gets to use that time, to try to draw up something even better. So be interesting to see. And something else that's pretty cool, I noticed Phoenix Rodriguez being done for the year, but he is out there as part of that huddle talking with those guys, so that's pretty cool too. As who knows if he's actually saying that much, but he's out there too, which is good.
Yeah, I think he's more probably just listening and learning, as he is just that young guy. Even though he's the starter and Sanders is the backup, Sanders is older and he does have more football intelligence maybe than Rodriguez does. So he's just out there with his open mind learning.
Yeah, and that's definitely something good to see. So Sanders standing on his 13-yard line, puts a man in motion, takes the snap. There's a flag on the plays. It's going to be blown dead, as the pass would have been intercepted, but I think that was because the play was blown dead.
Yeah, and that was going to be an illegal motion on the Lions. Wide receiver Wiggins he went into motion at the same time the H-back did, and Wiggins kept moving after the ball was snapped, and it was an easy call for the referees.
Yeah, so we'll see what that sets the Lions up with here. Be repeat a second down here after moving them back about 5. So 2nd and 8 here for the Lions. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either.
Yeah, and it looks like the referees and coaches are all calling for them to put the play clock to 51 seconds, rather, as they didn't get any time off the clock with that penalty.
And they set it back to 51. So everybody on the field trying to make sure they all got the same idea here, figure out exactly what they're going to do. As here we go, we get ready. Play clock running. Puts a man in motion, takes the snap. A lot of pressure quick. He dances out of it. He rolls to his right. More pressure. And he's going to be taken down for a huge loss there, all the way back at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and Sanders is down. He was hit by a few big guys, and you don't like to see that at all, especially as the backup quarterback. He popped up quick, but he's hurting.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see, like Archer said. So that's going to bring up, looks like, probably about 3rd and 20 here for the Lions, as an unfortunate chain of events has unfolded here before us.
Yeah, and it looks like the now backup Ramos might be coming onto the field, as the refs are talking about number 10 Sanders being down and injured. So the sophomore Ramos, who came up from the JV squad for tonight's game, is out there for his first play on varsity this season, and he might have to make a big touchdown throw this drive, as he's got to step up.
Yeah, and personally, I've not seen anything from Ramos, so don't know if he's much of a thrower, more of a runner, what exactly his play style is here. But will be interesting to see. We'll probably see him throw, as he's got a long way to go to pick up a first down here.
Yeah, and if we're throwing him out as backup quarterback, he's at least got an arm.
Right.
So I'd like to see where he can go with that. Is we do have 3 receivers out to each side. We got 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Running back in the backfield looks like Abram, as I'd like to see somebody running a post on this. It looks like Bankston might be running a seam. Hopefully some creativity from this Lions offense on 3rd down.
Yeah. So we see Ramos standing at the 30. Gets ready to take the snap here, as he's looking to his sideline. They're going to bleed as much clock off here as they can.
That's crazy.
And Collins gives him the go-ahead to take the snap. He takes the snap, and he spiked the ball.
So that was to get the field goal kicking team out there for a long field goal, as Rojas trots out there And it's looking to be about a 42-yard field goal.
Yeah, so interesting to see what they've got here for Rojas.
Sorry, it looks like 43 is the final distance. We haven't seen much of Rojas, but we have seen a few field goals. Hopefully he can connect on this one, as time will run out after this kick is gone.
Yeah, so the hold is up. It's pretty good. Rojas's kick is up. And it's good from 43, as that's one heck of a kick by number 84 Rojas there, the junior kicker for the Lions. So that brings us to the halftime score. Corsicana Tigers 14, Greenville Lions 3. As we're going to take a short break here, and then we'll be back with David Claiborne to talk some stats.
When Juice first brought high-speed internet to Greenville, the world looked like this. Today, more than 20 years later, the world looks like this. Some things change over time, and some things stay the same. Fast speed, reliability, and hometown customer service. Juice, delivering high-speed internet to our hometown for more than 20 years.
All-American officers from left to right are Senior Lieutenant Ayana Wilson, Senior Lieutenant Abby Walthall, Senior Lieutenant Cassandra Fernandez, Senior Lieutenant Jemiah Willis, Senior Lieutenant Tamia Jackson, Senior Lieutenant Jason Thomas. And in the center, your captain, Senior Alisa Sanchez. Officers of the team are Junior Riley Dunn, Junior Caden Heston, Junior Jaden Jones, Junior Whitney Otto, Senior Kiana Dobbins, Senior Eli Solis, and Senior Head Social Officer Kaylin Thomas. The Spirit Girl of the Week is Cassie Fuller. Dancer of the Week is Antoinette Horn. The Calicos are under the direction of Brittany Lassiter, Elizabeth Talley, and Sonia Rojas. Tonight, the Calicos will perform a groovy jazz tune, Let's Groove.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm Bentley Love, and here with me is Mr. David Claiborne, as we're going to talk a little bit of stats. But, Mr. Claiborne, how'd you feel about how that second quarter ended there for the Lions?
Well, that was a nice field goal by Joshua
Rojas.
Rojas, yeah, I started to say Rojas. Yeah, it was a nice field goal. We were talking before the game, Archer and I, about how soccer players make for good place kickers.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. And I was a little surprised that they decided to spike the ball there and just have him go ahead and kick it from there. But he nailed it. He did a great job.
He nailed it. In that situation, you want to come away with some points. You know, don't want to go to half and not convert on that. That was an opportunity. You know, the punter low snap, and he actually took a knee before he got that punt off, and the refs caught it.
Yeah, they did, and it was a
big
great
break for the Lions. But then, of course, Corsicana got a break on that fumble return by the defender. What was his name? Jabraylon Jones. That was a heck of a play right there.
Yes, it was. It really was.
But the stats are actually pretty even. Well, a little bit. Greenville's actually ahead in stats. 118 total yards to 72 yards for Corsicana. 61 yards rushing for the Lions, 27 for Corsicana, 57 yards passing for Greenville, 45 for Corsicana. You know, the Lions are 6 of 8 through the air, though they had 1 pick. Corsicana's 5 of 8 with 1 pick. Caleb Yost got that pick. That was a big play. Jaden Johnson's running hard. He had 60 yards on 13 carries. I thought he was a plus for the first half. And Bryson Sanders had some good throws. You know, 6 of 8 for 57 yards, and he spread the receptions around. Got Caleb Hale with 3 for 22. Chris White is 2 for 24. And got Jaden Johnson 1 for 11. Jaden had a big play on defense, a tackle for a loss. Lions are playing hard.
Yeah, they really are, and it's good to see after last week's loss and how rough that game was. They have been playing extremely hard today, and it's a tale of two different teams, I would say. And really, without those turnovers, that pick and that fumble, this game could very easily be 3-0 Lions or maybe 7-3 Lions, but something along those, 7-3 Corsicana. But I mean, it's a really close game, and even though it's close on the scoreboard, way closer than the scoreboard shows, I would say.
I noticed this time the Lions won the toss, and instead of electing to defer, they took the football. I think that was a wise move. You know, we've been seeing where they deferred and the other team got the ball, drove down and scored. Now you're down. You know, get your first shot, see if you can't get on the scoreboard first. They had some promising drives that just didn't convert till that field goal there. But if they keep moving the ball, they'll have some opportunities in the second half. Corsicana has been a sound program, but they're in rebuilding mode. We discussed before the game, they haven't won a district game in a while.
Yeah, it has been a while for them, and so far I'd say they're on the right track. But this game is still definitely up in the air for both teams. As I haven't watched any Corsicana games, of course, but I would venture to say both teams are probably playing their best football so far of the year.
Well, you know, Corsicana opened up with a 17-7 win over Cleburne, and then it's been downhill. You know, both teams are looking at this one as a game to kind of turn it around, and neither one is mathematically out of the playoffs yet. And if they could get a win here, either team, it gives them a chance to hang in there. The Lions got some tough games coming up with Terrell and Kaufman and of course Crandall, and those are to me on paper they look a little stronger in Corsicana. So this is a game of the Lions. You know, I'm sure they're looking at this one as an opportunity to win.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out in this second half. What are you looking to see? Hopefully, them do in this second half to get back in this game.
You know, just keep playing hard, and I'd like to see him keep feeding the ball to Jaden Johnson. He's running hard. And of course, I like it when they give the ball to Tobias. He seems to always give him a lift when he's running. I think, you know, the way it's working out with Phoenix being out, I think they're going to be a run first, pass second or third, and that's okay. You know, they have some opportunities with the ground game, and the offensive line was doing a pretty good job. One thing I know is Corsicana's offensive line is huge.
They are. They're really big.
You know, some of these teams the Lions play, they just got big linemen.
Yeah.
You got to work on your technique and hope that you're quicker, because a lot of times the Lions are giving up a little weight advantage up front. I noticed that this is a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, it has. It has been. It's.
You seen that harvest moon?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier on the broadcast.
Harvest moon. The temperature at kickoff was 70 degrees. I mean, this. You wish it was like this every night.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
those Lions in both teams, they ought to be pumped to play on a night like this, because you play when it's 95 at kickoff. You get to halftime, you're probably worn down. They ought to be energetic in second half, good to go, because it'll be low 60s, and that's football weather.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. You're done at halftime if it's 95 because you just can't take the heat any longer. But if it's in the 30s, you're done because you can't take the cold any longer. So they're sitting at some perfect weather, and definitely been playing some really, really good football to get this game started.
With that harvest moon and all, they can't say they can't see the football.
Right, exactly.
We got moonlight. We got bright lights out here. This is a special night to play, and if they're a young man out there playing, forget about what's happened before tonight. Just go out and enjoy yourself and try to play some football and have a good time.
Yeah, I'll agree, and that's something that we've kind of noticed when they start getting down and stuff, like in the game, they start getting down too on themselves. But so far tonight, I mean, I know they're a lot more in this game than they have been in the past, but I've not seen anybody really get down. They continue to keep playing hard.
Here's the thing, in college, they got a scholarship, and they got to live up to the scholarship. In the pros, they're getting paid. These guys, this is all volunteer, and they should try to be enjoying themselves out there. I've seen some teams that weren't some of the best games I've ever seen going into week 9, week 10, when both teams out of the playoffs, and there's no pressure. They're just playing for fun. And maybe the Lions, tonight can play for fun and see what happens in the second half. Keep an open mind.
Yeah, I agree. And talking about how there's a lot of football left to play, it's interesting. Right before you came over here, I got a notification for the score of the Midlothian Heritage Crandall game. And Midlothian Heritage is up 49-3 on Crandall at halftime.
Well, Midlothian Heritage had a close game. What was against Terrell? 21-14. But that Terrell, we know about the Sedberries. Marvin Sr., Marvin Jr., they can get a team ready to play. They must have played really, really well, because Heritage looked pretty awesome against the Greenville Lions a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they definitely did. So.
The deal with Heritage was they were ranked number 11 in state coming in, and they were 12-1 last year, and I had a lot of high hopes. And something happened against Stephenville, and they got what was it, like 34-3, and they lost to some pretty good football teams, but they weren't expected to be 0-3, and I knew when the Lions played, they were going to see Midlothian Heritage's best football. Now everybody else is, and it's going to be hard for anybody to beat that team.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So,
but Crandall, they played the Lions tough through the years. You've been in some of those games, and they have some talent.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a tough one. And playing there, they always seem to play well at their place. And you got Terrell next week at their place, and then you got Kaufman. It's going to be, Kaufman and Greenville played back in the past. Greenville and Terrell used to be district rivals before. These are the only new team they hadn't seen is Midlothian Heritage. I didn't know what to expect much. That game, I've never seen them play before. But
yeah, no, I agree, and it was a tough game, but a little bit of a different game here tonight for the Lions. Is like we did mention, obviously they are down, but playing a lot better than they have so far.
I mentioned, I do some capsules before each game. And I mentioned that both of these programs in the last 10 years have had two NFL players. The Greenville Lions at Byron Bell, and now they got John Franklin Myers playing for the Broncos. Of course, Corsicana had Daniel Manning played for the Houston Texans, and then they had Luis Vasquez. He played in the NFL, big lineman. He played for about 8 years. So these teams have had some talented players in the past, and it's a kind of a recycle thing. You can't be on top every year, and you got to have some of these years where you just got to rebuild and get kids to come out for your program and try to build from from the ground up. And I think they're both in that process now, trying to build back to where they've been before.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So, well, Mr. Claiborne, I appreciate you coming over and talking stats with us and getting to talk with you about football in general. As it looks like the Corsicana band is fixing to exit and Greenville band and Flashes are fixing to come on. So we're going to wrap this up so we can watch them. But thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
The band would like to thank current sponsors Paravan, Riot, HEB, and Hometown Medical Associates. The Tiger Band would also like to thank Stephanie Howell, the TISD School Board, and CHS Administration for all of their support. We really appreciate you. The band has UIL marching contest tomorrow at Midway Waco. Please give them a really big round of applause and wish them good luck for a wonderful performance tomorrow. CTV! Ladies and gentlemen, Greenville High School is proud to present the oldest joke in the world, the Fighting Flashes. The Fighting Flashes are led up to the field by our 2024-2025 dance officers from left to right. Major Abigail Salas, Major Adriana Rios, Lieutenant Colonel T.J. Methodist, Colonel Julian Sherrill, Lieutenant Colonel Teresa Gutierrez, Major Skylar Castaneda, and Major Sophia Duran. Social officers for the Flaming Flashes are Chelsea Ariola, Veronica Barra, Brianna Menez, Allison Nicholas, and Lee Miranda Nahara. Flashes in the league are Diana Howard and Alexis Rios. The Flashes will now perform a prom to sucker. gentlemen, the Flaming Flashes. The Flashes are the director and the citizen looking to bear. The Flashes would like to say happy birthday to their colonel, Jillian Sherrill. Now performing is Greenville High School's award-winning Lion Pride Band. The Lion Pride Band is in its 94th year and is under the direction of Head Director Dr. Matt Omey, Assistant Director Luke Daly, and Production Director John Grant. Color guard instruction by AJ Font, drill design by Stephen Cross. The drum majors are Ionor Escobar, Angelico Cadilla, and Mariana Ochoa. The Lion Pride Band is proudly sponsored by Alliance Bank, Bottle Cap Alley, Fuller's Nursery, Greenville Masonite, and loving memory of Carla Coleman, McDonald's, the Ruffalo Clinic, Select Sawdust Stone Supply, Sunshine Window Tint, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, the Texan Theater, UAW, Local 967, Houston, Texas. The Epic Signature Landscape. Our section lead is the baritone. Please enjoy this year's Lion Pride Marching Production Full Throttle.
Somebody says vote for Harris. And somebody else later down says Trump. And somebody says
And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as both teams are running back out onto the field to get this second half of football. We just watched a fantastic performance by the Lion Pride Band, and now ready for some second half football.
Yeah, I'm ready, and I think these guys are ready too, as they look hyped, and they know that they can notch their first win this season with the right plays and the right attitude this game. So hopefully we can see that happen, as we're ready.
Yeah, like I said, whenever I was talking with David Claiborne, this is definitely still a very winnable game, as the Lions are definitely in this one, as they're down by 11, 2 scores here. And it'll be interesting to see what they get going. We are looking at a 64 degrees to start us off here in this second half, so cooler than it was at kickoff, but it hadn't dropped too much.
No, and it definitely feels great outside. You know, it's a little cold in this press box. We got the AC on for some odd reason, but it feels nice and good outside, and these boys definitely running around will feel nice.
Yeah, it definitely does feel good outside, that's for sure. So Greenville will be kicking it off, which is a little bit different than normal because typically when they win the toss, they defer to the second half, but this time they went ahead and received it to start the game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. We're going to see Rojas with a kick here to get us started.
Blast from the pass. I saw Micah Simpson downstairs.
Little blast for the pass from you. Matthew Middleton ran into Micah Simpson downstairs. So he's here tonight.
Said he's loving Navarro College.
Says he's loving Navarro College and playing lots of football. So Rojas's kick is up. It gets out to about the 28-yard line or so. And he's tackled right at about the 35, 36-yard line there. So real short return there.
Yeah, tackled by number 4, Mark Dumas. That's a name we haven't heard much tonight, as he's normally the main guy making tackles. But it seems like this Corsicana team's been running the ball a lot more than most teams we've played, and they've been keeping it tight and inside towards those linebackers and defensive linemen. So maybe if they start spreading out the pass game, we'll see Mark Dumas make a few more plays this game.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right on that. So looks like Greenville will be bringing a 3-man rush, maybe a couple blitzers here, but it looks like most of the linebackers are going to stay back. As we'll see if there's any last-second movements once Corsicana gets up to the line. Corsicana takes the snap. There's a penalty on the play. Looks like probably holding, as looks like their running back is going to tear off a big run here out to about the 36-yard line. But that may come back, as it looked to me like there was a holding call right there on the right side, and there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and that was a great hit by Tyler Trexel, who seems to be flexing a little hard, and by all means, I'd flex too if I was in his position, because that was a big-time hit from him, and it does look like that ball is going to be walked back for the Corsicana Tigers, so good for the Lions all around.
Yeah, so great break there for the Lions after the big run. But Trexel still got to make his hit and still got to have some fun with it, so that's good too. So bring up 1st and 15 here for the Tigers, as Jones is standing at his 25-yard line. He takes the snap, hands it off to his running back, and he's swallowed up after a gain of maybe about 2.5 yards.
Yeah, and it looks like everybody's happy to play the second half, as everybody seems excited. Down below, the sidelines are both happy, and number 4 from Corsicana is making big-time blocks. Weston Hollingsworth, the senior receiver, as Corsicana comes up for the 2nd and long.
Yeah, so Jones looking to his sideline. Got 2 receivers out left, 2 receivers out right, joined in the backfield by Kennan Murphy. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy runs off the left side and is stopped after maybe a gain of 1, but he needed 12 on that play. So it's going to bring up gain of 2, so we'll bring up 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, and that's another big-time stop from this Greenville Lions defense after that first blown play, which got called back. They've made some big ones, and hopefully going to stop them and force a punt and carry that momentum into their drive.
Yeah, so Jones standing at 30, looking over to his sideline. 2 receivers out on either side. Jones talks it over with his offensive line. Takes the snap, looks to his left. He's got his man, that's number 5. That was Ruiz, but Ruiz was stopped after no gain there and a loss of a few yards.
Yeah, and I'd like to say I called that one because, as I said earlier, they passed the ball and Mark Dumas came up and stepped up and made that play to stop him on 3rd down. So that'll bring up the punting team with Giancarlo Zuniga punting right out to, it looks like Caleb Hale is the receiver this time.
Yeah, so a loss of 2 there. 4th and 12 is Zuniga's going to be standing right at about his 20-yard line and kicking away to, I believe you're right, I believe that is Caleb Hale, who's standing at the Lions' 35. And Greenville not sending anybody really back to block most of these guys as Hale just gets lit up as they sent Aiden Lewis down with them to block, but there were about 3 guys running at him, and Lewis can't block them all by himself.
Yeah, that was definitely another weird punt return formation from the Lions, but at least everybody's good, Hale's good, and ready to make this offensive drive go.
So Greenville's going to be starting here at the 34-yard line. As Sanders and his offense trot out on the field. Receiver split out right, 1 receiver out left. H-back in formation. Sanders takes the snap, hands it off to, I believe that's Renner, who we haven't seen. Renner fumbles it. And wait for the official call here, as it looks like it may be Corsicana's ball, but they're sorting it out. As it is going to be Corsicana's ball there. So that'll give Corsicana the ball at what looks to be about the 34-yard line of Greenville. So, and that was the first play I believe we saw of Renner on offense tonight.
Yeah, and once again, that's another turnover, a costly turnover in this field position from the Greenville Lions, as we've now only completed 1 drive throughout 2 quarters and 3 minutes in this 3rd quarter without a turnover. So hopefully something we can change, and change quickly before this one turns bad.
Hurrying to get up to the line as they've only got 3 seconds left on the play clock. And it looks like the Corsicana Tigers are going to go ahead and take a timeout here. And we're going to take a timeout with them, so we'll be back after this word from Juice. And welcome back to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as we're going to get it going here as Corsicana sitting at the Greenville 35-yard line. Jones takes a snap. He's looking downfield. He's got his man. And that's going to be no catch as they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the Greenville 35.
Yeah, and that was well defended by the star player, Aiden Lewis, on this defense. As he just never gave that man a chance to catch it inbounds. He did catch the ball, just happened to be out of bounds. So great play from the captain, number 1, Aiden Lewis, which will bring up 2nd and 10.
Had Jones standing at the 40, getting ready to take the snap here. He's got 3 receivers out left, 1 out right, joined in the backfield by a running back. Takes a snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy runs up the middle, picks up about 8 or so. Looks like he's going to bring up about 3rd and 2 here. 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and this Lions defense is still flying around on this field, but Corsicana is ready to come out and make another play.
They take the snap, hand it off to Murphy. Murphy runs it back up the middle, and that looks like that's probably going to be a 1st down there, as it will be. So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers from the Lions 25. Two receivers split out either way, and Murphy and Jones in the backfield. Jones takes the snap. He's looking to his left. He's looking to throw it. He rolls out to his right, and he's almost lit up, but ends up throwing it away. Good call there by the sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like he may have had some receivers open at different times, but as they were open, he was running, and when they were guarded, he was ready. So, just like you said, a good play from the quarterback to throw that one away and get a fresh down on second down.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Jones getting ready to take the snap. Takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy looking for something. He gets around the edge and finds something as he gets down to about the 15 or so. As they're going to say he got to about the 14-yard line before going out of bounds. So they'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 14.
Yeah, and that one wasn't a big play, but it was a play made by Aiden Lewis once again, just pushed him out of bounds, but another play by the captain who's clearly running this defense for him.
Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy trying to find something, but there's nothing as he's lit up by 4 or 5 lines there.
Yeah, and that looked like Makai McEwen on that tackle. First time we've heard his name tonight. Big player, had a fumble recovery for a touchdown this season. Big time play from him on first down.
Yeah, definitely a good player there for the Lions. And McEwen's a player that even when we're not calling his name, he's still making a difference out there on the field.
Yeah, definitely.
Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy. Murphy goes to the left side this time. Gets around the edge, breaks a couple tackles. There's a flag that comes in, and he's taken down right at about the 10.
Yeah, I'd expect a holding on this one from the offense. That's about all I'd really call in that situation.
And it looks like you'd be right.
That's good for the Lions as it'll push them back 10 yards from where that happened and bring up another second down.
So it'll bring up 2nd and about 20 or so here. As Jones is conversing with his lineman, drops back to about the 30. Takes the snap, drops it back, looking to his left. He's got his man, and it's through his hands. So that'll bring up 3rd and 20 here.
Yeah, and that one was Jamar Taylor again. Big blocker who just kind of seemed too cool for that one. He thought he was going to catch it and run, but just went right through his hands, and that'll bring up a costly 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and that's something I've always heard everybody say. You got to catch the ball before you run with the ball, and that goes across pretty much every sport.
Yeah, and you'd think it's obvious, but you really forget about catching that ball sometimes.
Jones takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Evans. Picks up about 5 or so on the play.
Yeah, and I'd like to think that Corsicana is going to run out their field goal unit just as the Lions did before halftime and see what they can do with this one, at least get points on the board.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. We'll see what they do exactly. It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field, which is a little interesting because I kind of expected them to run their kicking unit out here.
Yeah, they definitely don't need to keep their offense on the field as they can secure some points and keep it a 2-score game, but maybe they've got to play ready for this one.
Yeah, 4th and 16 here as Jones rolls out to his left, and he's running out of room as Waldrop is on him and takes him down right at about the 14-yard line. So big play there by Cody Waldrop, the senior linebacker and defensive end.
Yeah, big play by him, but I'd like to shout out the defensive backs out there shutting down the receivers and giving them no chance to even throw that one and forcing the quarterback to try and make his own play.
Yeah, Waldrop made the play on the ball, but Waldrop's play on the ball wouldn't have been possible without those DBs shutting everybody else down.
Absolutely, and that'll force the Greenville Lions offense back on the field, and once again we'll see Sanders and Renner in the backfield to start this drive.
So we're looking at 1st and 10 here from the Lions 14. as Archer thinks they're going to throw it. Got a receiver out left and receiver out right. H-back in position. Hands it off to Renner. Renner goes to his left. Picks up about 4. Called a pickup of 3.
Yeah, you know, in the situation, it's not a desperate situation yet, but you would like to see the Lions to come out and pass in this ball because we do need some yards and we need them bad.
Yeah, and if we end up in the fourth quarter and Corsicana's got only a 1-score game or 2-score, whatever, they're probably just going to keep running the ball, keep the clock moving. So he hands it off to Renner. Renner goes around the right this time, picks up about 3 yards or so.
I like to see the trust in Renner from the coaches, as he did come out first play, fumble the ball last drive, but I like to see them hand it off to him 2 more times and say, look, we still believe in you, now go make a play.
Yeah, so 3rd and 3 here as they replace him with Johnson, but I think that's got something to do with if they're going to hand it to Johnson. Johnson's more of a power back than Renner, so give it to Johnson. He runs it up the middle and has a little bit better success there as Johnson tries to find a hole here and is fighting, and broke free and looks like he picked it up there. Excuse me.
And that looked like all heart from the Lions, but it does look like they're going to call him about a yard short on that one. So this is one that makes the coaches think is, are we going to punt this one away, or are we going to go for it in a scary situation when we need it?
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it, and I can understand that or they're going to try to draw them off sides here or something, as we'll wait and see. So you got a receiver out left, receiver out right. Johnson in the backfield takes the snap, hands it off to him. Johnson goes around the left this time, and he picks up the first down. And then Morris, he breaks loose, and he's going. He's at the 45, he's at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Greenville Lions touchdown, Jaden Johnson. As that was a huge play there as Johnson went a long way. Has an 81-yard run there for the senior running back. And a great play by Jaden Johnson.
Yeah, and that may have just been a play that the Corsicana defense wasn't really expecting on 4th down, to just hand it right off to the running back and make a play as Rojas comes out for the extra point. And with almost no rush, it is good.
So that brings the score Corsicana Tigers 14, Greenville Lions 10, with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. After that fantastic run by Jaden Johnson. And they may give him a break on the first play, but Johnson's going to turn around and play defense too, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely, as he has all night. He's been making plays on both sides of the field, and that one's a big one this game.
And we see the ROTC cadets down there doing push-ups. They're going to do 10 of them, as every time the Lions score, they do push-ups for however many points are on the board.
I work with his mama, and I'm sure that she is just beaming proud right now.
Johnson's? Yeah. So we see the referee drop the ball as Rojas sets his tee up.
Yeah, Rojas likes to take his time setting up his tee, setting up his kickoff team, and we'll likely, once again, as always, see 6 to the left and 4 to the right, as Rojas seems to be aiming to kick this one as a pooch left towards number 8 on the 30-yard line, as we'll see a nice flyover kick and hopefully a big tackle by probably 30 or number 1, Aiden Lewis or Cameron Clayton.
Yeah, so Rojas checks with his right side. He kicks the ball. Ends up at about the 35 as Archer, you were right. It was Aiden Lewis and Mark Dumas in on that tackle.
Yeah, and just a little bit shorter than he probably wanted it. He wants that height as a kicker. You want that height and your team to get there, but you saw he had about a yard to make after he caught that ball. So not a bad kick from the Lions there, and a great cover by the kicking team.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up 1st and 10 here from the Corsicana Tigers 38-yard line. So gives them some pretty good field position here to get them started. 4 minutes and 9 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and I think the Lions are going to come out with confidence now and be ready.
As they bring a few extra rushers as gets around the edge, and there's a flag on the play. We'll see what it's for, as everybody in the press box up here is calling for a hold, and so are all the coaches on the sidelines.
Yeah, it looked like 2 different holds in 2 different places, and it sure enough is going to be called on the Corsicana Tigers, and that'll push it back. However, there is an injured Corsicana Tiger on the Greenville sideline, and that's number 0, the running back, Keenan Murphy. So for everybody's sake, we hope that he's okay and he'll make a speedy recovery, maybe even this game.
Yeah, Murphy's been a big key piece for them so far tonight, and Max Probst didn't really have many stats, but I'm presuming all season long. As if he's been doing what he's been doing tonight much this season, then he's definitely been a big part of that offense. So hopefully he's okay. As both sides are going to take a little break and talk it over. And that was a big break for Greenville there to bring them back quite a bit.
It goes back to the line of scrimmage and it's a first down. It's just a play that goes over again. Because it was after the play. It wasn't during it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's from spot of the foul. So it was him holding Clayton right there. And Clayton made the play still.
Like, all it does is make them give them a replay.
Yeah, so taking an injury timeout here is they're all the players going down on a knee and getting rehydrated here as they're going to attend to Murphy on the sideline. And we're going to take a break with them, so we'll be back here shortly. And welcome back as we await to see what the deal is with Mr. Murphy. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. As both sides are taking this time to talk it over and figure out what they're going to do on this play, as it's going to bring up what looks to be about 1st and 9 or so here on the play after that holding call.
Yeah, and it looks like Murphy's up. He's limping heavily as it looks like he's struggling to walk on that left leg of his, and it looks awfully straight. So hopefully nothing serious from him, but likely we won't see him for the rest of this game tonight.
Yeah, and the way he's carrying it, it's probably either one of 2 things. Either could be a cramp or could be something wrong with his knee, maybe a hyperextension or something like that. So hopefully it's nothing too serious for Mr. Murphy, but I'm wishing him a speedy recovery. So we'll most likely see number 6, Christian Evans, take over. And he's been doing some running so far tonight, but probably see him do a lot more here, as he's been pretty effective thus far.
Yeah, and I'd almost like to say that we're probably going to see a little more passing in the rest of the second half, as that's been their go-to runner, and without him, they haven't had a lot of offense. So
yeah, you're definitely right, and especially considering the fact that the Lions just put a touchdown on the board, and now their lead is cut down to 4, so they're wanting to put some more points on the board here. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Evans, and Evans picks up a couple yards and then is just piled on by a whole bunch of Lions.
Yeah, and that's Israel Cornejo, the defender who made a play earlier, who made a big just shove on that running back and helped him pick up more yards than he originally was gonna. So big guy making big plays for the Corsicana Tigers tonight.
Yeah, so to bring up 2nd and 5 here for the Tigers, as the Lions are looking to stand strong here. Bringing a 4-man rush, bringing Ethan Brand in addition to the lineman, as he picks up, looks to be about 2 on that play before being stopped.
Yeah, stopped by what looked like to be originally Cody Waldrop on another play, and he's made a bunch of big defensive stops tonight, as he always kind of does in this Greenville defense. So 3rd and short, and maybe expecting a pass, as they've got 2 to each side.
Jones takes the snap, hands it off to number 6, and that's a big stop by the Greenville Lions defense against Evans and the Corsicana Tigers offense. So that's going to bring up 4th and 3 here, it looks like, and bring on the punting unit for the Corsicana Tigers.
Yeah, and it looks like even the coaches are excited about that one. It looked like Sean Ford down on the sideline was so excited. He ran on the field and had to get pushed back by some other coaches, but no doubt about it, these Lions have come out with a different attitude after that touchdown, and they're ready to just do it again on offense after this punt from Zuniga.
Yeah, so it looks like Greenville is sending a full rush here, except for, of course, they're going to drop a couple guys back, as it's going to be a shorter kick, and it's going to take a Corsicana bounce and bounce back to about the 24-yard line there. So Greenville will be set up here on their own 24-yard line to get us going.
Yeah, good punt from that punter after it almost was blocked after a high snap. He went through the adversity and made that play.
Yeah, that's one thing for sure about Zuniga. He's a really good punter and been pretty good kicking to him, and we've seen him do a few kickoffs and then kick a couple extra points. Nothing too crazy, no long field goals or anything, but he's been pretty accurate so far.
Yeah, and even in pregame, it's just pregame, but we did see him hit about a 43-yarder, about what Rojas hit in the game, so definitely somebody who's got a leg. So
yeah, so Sanders standing at the 19-yard line, joined by, I believe that's Johnson in the backfield. And Johnson picks up about 6 on the play. Oh, excuse me, 20, number 20, Tobias Abram, picks up about 6 on the play to bring up 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and it looks like number 10 is down once again on this Corsicana defense. Jerry Escamilla seems to be shaken up after making the play on that one.
Yeah, and not what you want to see here either is that's multiple players to go down with injury for them, and maybe the 2nd or 3rd on defense tonight.
I was going to say 3rd or 4th even on defense tonight, as they've been struggling on this healthy side.
So he looks like he's probably going to be okay. He's limping off. Doesn't look that great, but he's walking pretty much under his own power here, so that's definitely a good sign for the Corsicana Tigers.
Yeah, it's looking probably like a right ankle, right knee area, as he's limping, jumping pretty hard on that left leg. So hopefully he'll be all right and maybe continue out the rest of this game.
Yeah, it could just be a mild sprain, or could have just rolled it funny and give him 10 minutes or so, and he'll be okay, hopefully. So we'll wait and see if we see Mr. Jerry back out there on the field later. Sanders standing at his 25-yard line. 2nd and 4 here from the 30. Takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Abram. Abram gets around the left side and picks up a Lions first down there, and then a little more. Bringing up, it looks like 1st and 10 here from the 37.
Yeah, and it's good to see that every single one of these running backs that we've put in the game have been making an impact, and not just Jaden Johnson with that long touchdown run, but Tobias Abrams going in and doing the dirty work, getting the hard yards to get.
Yeah, and that's something that's really cool about Greenville's running back room. They all know their role, and they're all different. So Abram gets up the middle, and he's got a big hole there as he picks up what looks to be about 5 on the play.
Yeah, and I'm probably expecting one more play from Abram before Jaden Johnson or Renner comes back on the field to relieve him of his duties for a little while.
Yeah, he's getting kind of beat up in there a little bit for sure, but everybody on Greenville looking over to the sideline, get the play.
Something Greenville does this year that they haven't done very often in the past is they've got their wristbands that got their plays on their arms. So
Sanders puts a man in motion. That's Whitus. Takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's looking for his man. He's got Whitus open on the sideline. Whitus runs. He almost breaks the tackle. Then he gets out about to the 30 before being slammed down on the sideline.
yeah, it looked like they totally exposed that Corsicana was in man defense, and nobody ran over with the man with Chris Whitus on that motion. He was definitely wide open on that one and picked up a nice gain of probably about 40 yards on that play.
Yeah, he got a little bit open there and was able to pick up a good chunk of yardage there, bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions from the Corsicana 30 with 33 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. One man up out right, one man out left. Sanders hands off to his running back. And that was Abram, who picked up, looked to be about 7 or so on the play.
Yeah, these guys are out here running as Jaden Johnson does come out and relieve Abram of his duties, and probably going to see Jaden Johnson get this one next time.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense as Johnson's been extremely effective tonight. Sanders takes a snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson goes up the middle for a first down, bounces off several tacklers. And they're pushing him. And he gets all the way down to about the 5, it looks like, as there's some discussion going on. If Corsicana pointing as if it was a fumble, but the ref's talking it over.
Looks like the refs are going to call him down by contact. Maybe he did lose the ball, but he was definitely down is what they're saying, as that'll bring up the fourth quarter. Lions down 14-10 to the Corsicana Tigers.
And we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back with some fourth quarter action. And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium. It is 9:06 p.m. We're getting ready to start the fourth quarter here as the Lions are looking at a first and goal situation with the ball on the 6-yard line. Archer, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm feeling a little tense. You know, I'm just as excited as these boys are, as hopefully they can win their first game. So I'm hoping the same, and I hope they score a nice touchdown here and take this lead.
This will be the first time this year they've taken the lead, if they take it here.
Yeah, and y'all can't see it, but I have decided to abandon the chair and am standing up now to watch this one. As Sanders gets ready to take the snap. He's got two receivers out right, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson's looking for some room, and he breaks into the end zone there for a Greenville Lions touchdown and their first lead on the season, as that brings the score Lions 16, Tigers 14, as we bring on Rojas for the kick and Brandon to hold. As the band goes into the fight song. Brand set up at the 10. Here comes the snap, the hold, it's good. The kick is up. And it is no good, as it looked like it may have been tipped by a Corsicana defender there. But that brings the score Greenville Lions 16, Corsicana Tigers 14, with 11 minutes and 55 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and something that may have gone under the radar that we just kind of missed is Rodriguez on the sideline. Happy freshman may have jumped a little too hard into one of his teammates and hit his bad shoulder and is definitely struggling on the sideline. So not a good sign. However, he is resting for the rest of the season and he'll have plenty of time to recover. But a little bit of a rookie mistake from him, as he's not feeling well.
Yeah, so of course we see the ROTC guys doing more push-ups, 16 this time. As Rojas sets his tee up, takes the ball from the ref, and gets it set up how he would like. Corsicana sends two guys back on the 20 and then a guy back at about the 12 to receive.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see the same kick just as the last kickoff from Rojas, as he's aiming to kick. Oh, he looks like he's aiming to kick deep, so we may see this one behind the returners, as Rojas does have quite a leg.
Checking with his guys on the left, checking with his guys on the right. Everybody's ready. Rojas' kick is up, and it's a shorter kick. It's going to be taken at the 35 by number 19. He goes to his right, breaks a couple tackles, and it's fumbled. And Corsicana looks like they're going to jump on it at about the 35-yard line. So number 19, that is Marquise Cooks for Corsicana, went a long way, but really didn't go anywhere at all.
Yeah, it was a strange kick and a strange return from the Lions and Tigers. Well, I mean, I think everybody's excited on both sides of the field. This has become a really good game these last few minutes, and this fourth quarter is going to be a good one.
Yeah, so Corsicana's got the ball at their 36-yard line, excuse me. Pickup of about 1 on that kick return. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. And pick up of maybe a yard, but it looks like he probably stopped him for about no gain there.
Yeah, and it's looking like that's a good sign for the Corsicana Tigers, as that's back to being number 0, Kenan Murphy, running the ball. So good to see him back in the game, as he just went off earlier with an injury. So hopefully he won't attack the Lions too hard the rest of the game.
Yeah, so bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Tigers. And him being back this quick makes you wonder if it was just a cramp or something like that. So 2 men out right, 1 out left, puts a man in motion. That's number 5. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to number 6. And they're pushing him. And it picks up maybe about 6 on the play, 5 on the play. We'll call it 5 on the play. So it'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Tigers, as that was Christian Evans on the carry.
Yeah, and it looks like Lions are in man defense right now. As you could see in that motion, Trexel ran down to his man and kept an eye on him even if it didn't go his way. So maybe we'll see some more of that, as we got number 4 on number 4 as Dumas covering number 4 on Corsicana, Weston Hollingsworth, and we may see a few passes in this next little bit.
Yeah, I have a feeling we probably will, as they need to pick up some yardage here. Got about 5 yards to go. Either be a pass or a handoff to Murphy, I have a feeling. Murphy does get the ball. He rolls to his left, and he's tackled for a loss there by multiple Lions. Archie, did you see who that was that made the play?
Well, the first play was made by number 8, Trexel, but the final tackle was made by number 30, Cameron Clayton, and that'll bring up another 4th down, as the Lions have just kept stopping these Corsicana Tigers after halftime, and Zuniga will come out for his 3rd or 4th punt of the game, and 3rd or 4th of the half as well.
Yeah, you know, we see lots of good players making plays for the Lions on defense, but how about guys like Trexel and Clayton who can play, definitely, no doubt, but aren't necessarily always starters, and they've been making some big plays with the absence of Goggins out there in Davenport.
Yeah, and including Renner, as we haven't seen much of Renner on either side of the ball tonight. These younger guys and other guys have just been stepping up, as Zuniga gets the ball with plenty of time to kick, gets it off.
It's a good punt, as it's going to take a Corsicana Tigers bounce and bounce out of the bounds at about the Greenville 26. And bring up Lions 1st and 10 here from the 26-yard line. A little over 9 minutes left to go here. As I imagine we'll see the Lions probably run the ball a lot here. No sense in risking a pass play. Is obviously you want to put some more points on the board, of course, but you want to eat up some clock too. And Johnson's had a lot of success running so far tonight.
I was going to say, so we're not changing our game plan very much, because we've been running the ball quite often this game. So hopefully you're right, and we will see a lot more.
But no more than a yard.
And it looks like Whitus will be coming back on the field, as we're likely going to spread this one out and maybe get an outside run this time.
So bring up 2nd and 10 here. They're going to call that no gain. Sanders standing at his 20. Puts a man in motion. That's Whitus. Takes the snap, hands it off to Abram. Abram goes around the right side. He's got some room. Gets out to about the 30 before somebody makes contact and ends up going out at about the 33.
Yeah, and that was good defense from the Corsicana Tigers to just barely push him out of bounds, or force him out of bounds, rather, around the 32-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 4, as the Lions definitely need this one so they don't have to punt it away and give Corsicana a chance to take that lead back from us.
Yeah, and so you see him put Jaden Johnson in here as expected, as it's going to bring up 3rd and, like Archer said, 4 here.
Something I wish we would do more is what we saw last game, is throwing the ball to Aiden Lewis, as he made many plays and many great catches last week, but he hasn't seen much of the offensive side of the ball this game, as the Lions will take a timeout and talk this one over a little bit more.
And we'll take a timeout with them and be back here in just a second. And welcome back here to TA Cotton Ford Stadium as the Lions are looking at a 3rd and 4 here. Sanders in the backfield takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson goes up the middle, and he picks up about 3, it looks like, but that's going to be short here, the first down.
Yeah, if I'm the Lions, I'd honestly punt this one away, as there's no need to give it back to them with plenty of time on the clock and plenty of field position for them, but it looks like Lions are going to go for it on 4th down.
Looks like they got some really good faith in Johnson, as I imagine that's who's going to get the ball here, as they snap it and hand it to Johnson. And it looks like he is going to be stopped short, most likely.
Well, it looks like the way the refs are.
And there's several flags on the play. And another flag on the play.
Yes, at least a flag is going to be on number 77, probably both of them, but 77 took his helmet off in anger, and that is something you cannot do. So the Lions may have been bailed out by the flags from 77 and may just pick up this first down in order to continue this drive.
Yeah, there's 3 flags on the play, so we'll see what they're all about. And they're waving one of them off, it looks like. Oh, they're putting it back out there. They're going to talk it over and figure out exactly what it is, and they're going to let us know up here.
Man, it was real nice playing at Ennis last week. Their referees had mics, and we could hear exactly what the play call was instead of us kind of having to guess what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Doesn't matter, short is short, but it looks like where that ball's sitting right now, they're only about 6 inches short of a first down.
I don't know, the other refs, the line refs were showing that it was like a yard, almost a yard past it.
Okay.
When they came running up.
It looks like they're pulling chain gang out, so maybe the penalties may not have anything to do with this one, and they may be after the play, which in Lions' case, you at least hope they picked up the first down and continued the drive. But standing on the sideline, chain gang looked short, and it's a close one.
Yeah, as it is going to be short.
What's the flags?
We're going to see what the flags are here just as soon as we can find out.
Flags must have been thrown after the play. Dead ball flags is, it may push the Corsicana Tigers all the way back to maybe the 50 or their own 40, but they're definitely going to have the ball either way, as that will be a turnover on downs from the Greenville Lions.
And hopefully we'll see, hopefully those flags are enough to push them back to about the 50 or so.
Just not quite the play call you want to call, as you don't get the 4th down, and now you're giving them good field position with an open clock and open field.
Yeah, and you know, probably hindsight obviously is always 20/20, and now you'd say they should have punted it, but I can't say that I disagree with that call. I mean, Johnson had been lights out all game long in situations like that. So it looks like offsetting penalties.
And that is no good for the Lions, as that won't push them back at all. And Corsicana Tigers will take over on the Greenville Lions 35-yard line, I'd say.
Yeah, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers from Greenville's 35. As we'll see what happens here.
I would have loved to see Josh Rojas punt that one away. And I'm sure they're thinking about that now, as there's a chance that Corsicana takes this one to the house.
Yeah, well, from there, Rojas is probably pinning them down inside the 10, maybe inside the 15, something like that. But pinning them down way deep, and with how your defense has been playing lately, that wouldn't be a bad thing at all.
Because almost now they're in field goal range, which could lead them to winning this game at this point, as they're only down 2, and a field goal would take that 1-point lead. And just game awareness, and maybe they know something we don't. So we'll have to see how this defense can hold them, as they have been recently, as it'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
So Jones takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. And that was Murphy, who picked up about 8 on the play. Bring up what looks to be about 2nd and 2 here.
Yeah, and the crowd has kind of mellowed out after that series of events, and let's hope they can cheer this team on and help them finish out this game in the lead. Corsicana takes over on 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line.
Jones takes a snap, hands it off to Murphy, late handoff, but hands it off. And they finally whistle him down as a flag comes in from the back judge. Probably going to be holding on the offense here.
Corsicana begins to walk back as they think it's on them as well, and it will be a holding on Corsicana. So that'll push them back 10 yards from where that happened and bring up a 2nd down again.
So bring up 2nd and 12 here for Corsicana. As they're going to talk it over in the huddle and then head up to the line of scrimmage, figure out what exactly they're going to run here. 2 receivers out right, 2 out left. Jones takes a snap. He's looking to pass here. He's got a man downfield, and it's broken up. No interception, but it is broken up there, as you can see the Greenville defender visibly frustrated and also limping a little.
Yeah, that was Tyler Trexel on the breakup. Mark Dumas was in coverage, and Tyler Trexel made a great play in going over and finding the ball and smacking it away at least, and that'll bring up 3rd and 12, so hopefully one more stop. You know, Corsicana's definitely going to go for this in this situation, but one more stop, maybe pushing back a few more yards with a sack will definitely help this team out a lot.
Yeah, as he's got 2 receivers split out left, 2 out right. You'd think he's looking pass here again, but who knows, as they've given it to Murphy a lot, and Murphy can pick up some good yardage typically.
Yeah, maybe it'll be similar to the Lions and they'll run it.
Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Murphy, goes all around to the left, and he's going to be stopped. There's a flag that comes in.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be on one of the receivers on maybe a holding call. Dumas thinks it's the receiver that was holding him, so maybe another costly penalty, as it looks like they are talking to the Greenville head coach, David Collins, and Collins is telling them to push it right back and run another 3rd down. So maybe another lucky break for the Lions, and hopefully able to make a big stop on this one, as we're definitely probably going to see a pass on this one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I have a feeling Collins was thinking we'll push them back and they'll be looking at a pass play here, and maybe we can defend that a little bit better. And because where they were at, definitely handing it to Murphy again, and Murphy's been having a heck of a game so far. So Corsicana looking at what looks to be about 3rd and 16 here, as Jones takes the snap. He is looking to pass. He's under pressure, gets popped as he throws. And that was number 33, Cody Waldrop, who just absolutely leveled him. Jones looks like he is shooken up after the play as Waldrop hit him like a truck there.
Yeah, and that quarterback is feeling that one and feeling it good as he's got his helmet off, so he will at least take a break on this play as the offensive line for Corsicana is not happy and neither is anybody on their sideline. It's quite the opposite on the Greenville sideline with Cody Waldrop running around, screaming and yelling as he made a huge play and a huge stop on that one.
Yeah, and it was definitely a 100% clean play by Waldrop. It was just Jones was out of the pocket unprotected a little too long, and Waldrop saw his advantage or saw his window open, and he took it.
Yeah, 100%, and a good heads-up play from the senior right there.
So it's going to bring up 4th and 16 here for Corsicana as I would imagine they're going to bring their punting unit on here as they're a long way back, but you never know. They may run a play here. We'll see. They do have number 17, Antonio Locke, who we've seen come on earlier.
Well, Bentley, it looks like you were right in the first thing you said, and Zuniga is on the field and probably going to try and punt this one pretty high in the air, which I saw him do in warm-up, so I know he can, and probably going to pin them at least or try and pin them in the 5-yard line. But once again, they don't really have gunners out there on the side, so it's going to be kind of hard to pin him with no gunners.
It's a fumbled punt, and he's going to be taken down at about the 46-yard line. So a great play there by the Lions as about 5 guys got back there to him.
Yeah, and as a punter myself, that one's heartbreaking. I've dropped a few punts in my time, and it's not a fun thing. And your sideline, no matter the snap, is gonna not like you very much after that one, as that gives the Lions great field position and great opportunity to kind of just run this one out and take it. We've got 6 minutes left. Both teams have 2 timeouts left, so we still got a game on our hands. Lions still need to make a few plays, but they definitely have a big opportunity to win this one and get that first win of the season and maybe carry that on for the rest of the season and try and make a late playoff push.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. What we see here is there's about 6.5 minutes left to go. Is the mood is fantastic up here in the press box. As we've got people, Danny Black over there drumming up with the band of their cadences, and I can't say that I blame him. Sanders takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson goes around right, and he's going to be pushed after he picked up maybe about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play, but going to be stopped.
Yeah, good defensive stop from the Corsicana Tigers as they need a few more of those to push this Lions team to punt the ball again. Or punt the ball for the first time, I should say, this game, because the Lions have not punted the ball.
Yeah, so just under 6 minutes here as Sanders takes the snap. He puts a man in motion first. That's Brand. Takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. That's Johnson. Johnson's free as he gets all the way down to about the 35. So a big pickup. And Archer, you made a comment about this earlier, but Brand, I really do think, has been part of the secret to this run game. I mean, obviously, the guy who's running the ball has got to get through there, but you notice every time they move him over to the side they're fixing to run the ball on, Johnson tears off a big run. So I'm not saying that it's just Brand by any means, but he's definitely down there making a difference.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And that extra blocker and that guy you can kind of follow at times is you'll see him trail right after him. It really helps him. And here he goes again in motion to the right side, as does Johnson. And he'll pick up another about 3 or 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, so a good little pickup there by Johnson is they want to pick up some yardage, but they don't want to pick up too much yardage because they just want to keep picking it up and not go out of bounds as they're looking at just a hair over 5 minutes here. So 2 plays they've bled right at close to a minute off here.
They need to use that play clock.
Yeah.
Let it run down about 3 seconds, then make the ball.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Matthew says they need to let that play clock run down to about 3 seconds, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and as you say that, I see the quarterback staring at that play clock until he's ready, so we'll see a lot more of that.
Puts a man in motion. That's Whitus. Takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson goes around left this time. There's a flag on the play. Johnson gets down to about the 20 But that may come back. We'll see here.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned earlier, one of the most common plays you'll see, one of the most common flags you'll see is a holding in this situation. So not something you want to see for the Lions, as that may force them to make a few big plays, maybe a pass play and stop that clock, and maybe a rough next few minutes for the Lions. So hopefully we can overcome that one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, they need to score something regardless down here. But ideally you get a touchdown, but if they can at least kick a field goal down here and then kick it deep and pin them down inside their own 15 or so, that makes them go the length of the field, because at that point they'd have to have a touchdown.
Yeah, we definitely, like you said, we definitely need points, because we can't allow them to even win this game with a field goal. So we need to make them score.
It takes them way back there. Sanders is looking at replay of second down here, 17 to go. Clock running. Takes the snap. Rolling to his right. He's got his man. That's Brand. Brand picks up about 5 on the play or so. Probably bring up about 2nd and 12 here. But he did go out of bounds, so that stopped the clock.
Yeah, and that's a killer for the Lions. Again, as we mentioned, they're going to end up throwing some pass plays and stopping this clock. So hopefully on this 3rd and long, they can at least get into Josh's field goal range and maybe see another long field goal from him. As we obviously know he's got enough of a leg to kick a 43, we can expect some more.
Or first down.
First down. So we see 3rd and 12 here for the Lions, as Sanders is getting his play from his sideline, talking it over with his offensive lineman. Standing at his own 39 or 41-yard line, joining the backfield by Johnson. They bring some extra blitzers. He's under pressure, but he gets it to his man. That's Johnson, who picks up about 6 on the play. So not enough to get the first down, but it's going to bring up 4th and 6 here, and they really needed a little bit more than that on that play.
Yeah, he's definitely, I don't want to say it, but he's definitely not in Rojas's range for a field goal, as that right there would be about a 50-yard field goal, and I think 43 is the longest we've seen him kick, so.
Yeah, and it does look like they're going to go for it. That's brings up 4th and 9 here, so be interesting to see how this goes. Is luckily he did stay in bounds, so they're going to run as much of this clock down as they can.
Yeah, they're going to call a timeout and maybe talk about punting this football away this game. As here goes Collins towards the ref, and he will call the timeout.
What?
And you can see Collins is very frustrated, as he was calling a timeout and the ref didn't give it to him.
You gotta be.
And he waves the penalty off and grants the timeout to Greenville. So that would have been quite the turn of events there if they hadn't seen things Collins' way.
Oh, now you're gonna overdo it. See that?
So after this timeout, it'll bring up 4th and 9 here for the Lions.
Rojas is trotting up towards the huddle, as he's maybe expecting a punt as well, as I think maybe a coach yelled at him and said, "Hey, get ready," as he's standing next to Coach Ford, defensive coach, and who knows what Lions are thinking right now. I would definitely like to see them punt this one away, as we haven't all game, but they opt not to, as they rush the offense out on the field once again. Hopefully we can make this one different than last one.
Yeah, hopefully. So 4th and 9 here. Sanders standing at the 39-yard line. Takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He throws it, and it's intercepted as Sanders goes for the tackle. And Whitus is the last hope pretty much for Greenville. Whitus and Johnson, who forces him out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So a crazy turn of events as Sanders throws a pick, and they run it all the way back to the Greenville 14-yard line and puts themselves in field goal range here with 3 minutes left, and going to take a miracle to knock them out of field goal range.
Yeah. We got a punter who punted 3 punts inside the 15, 2 inside the 10 last game, and hasn't been on the field for a punt this game, as we've given up the ball quite a bit in some serious positions. Is that one's just absolutely killer. So with 3 minutes left, Corsicana will take over from the Greenville Lions, looking about 10-yard line, 15-yard line. So
yeah, so definitely not what you want to see for the Lions here.
Something coming back. Wow.
And it looks like that's going to be coming back, or coming back a little ways at least. And I'm not quite sure what it was for, but we'll take it as that backed them all the way up from the 14 to the 30. And if Greenville can make something happen here on defense, might be in a decent situation here.
yeah, with that kind of down and going back, you know, you expect that to be some sort of personal foul, 15-yard penalty, but either way, not a good series of events as Corsicana takes over on first down.
Takes the snap. It's a different quarterback in.
Yeah, and that's Antonio Locke once again, as we saw him just once earlier, as I guess number 9 is still banged up pretty hard from that hit from Cody Waldrop, and off goes number 0 as number 6 comes back on for the Corsicana Tigers. That is Kristen Evans, who's been making a few plays recently in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, so definitely a different backfield from the first play of the game, as we've got Locke and Evans in now instead of Jones and Murphy. So Locke standing at his 30 after a pickup of about 4, takes the snap, hands it off to Evans. Evans breaks a couple tackles, gets down to about the 20, maybe the 21, but regardless, it's going to be enough for a first down. 19-yard line, excuse me, I went the wrong direction.
Yeah, and Lions are definitely frustrated about this one, as it looks like McEwen is not very excited about what's going on the defensive line, and Corsicana's taking advantage of that big interception. 2 minutes left in the game. They're making a push for the end zone, as they definitely have a chance to take the lead on this one.
Locke takes the snap, hands it off to Evans. Evans goes around the left side and is tackled by Yost at the legs. Is a great tackle there by Yost.
Yeah, once again, big-time playmaker for the defense. Also a captain for the Lions team, Caleb Yost. Definitely made his name known in this game, as that may just have saved them the game, hopefully.
Yeah, so 2nd and 7 here, 1:30 left on the clock. I imagine we're going to see him run as much time off the play clock as they can. Well, I was wrong. Quick pass, and he's lit up there by the Greenville DB.
Yeah, Mark Dumas made another great play. Quiet game for him, as they haven't thrown the ball much, but when they have, he's definitely been there to make the plays every time. But as previously mentioned, it's a 2-point game, so a field goal will win this one for Corsicana. So,
Yeah.
you know, they may not need a touchdown, and this may come down to a last-minute field goal as the clock's winding down, and they might be ready for that.
And as of now, it looks like we are probably still in Zuniga's field goal range. Locke takes the snap, hands it off to his running back. He gets around the edge, and he's knocked out of bounds by Dumas. May have been down in bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bentley, that's definitely in that kicker's range, as he's probably sitting on that sideline waiting for the call, as they're probably going to run this one down, call a timeout, and have a little discussion about this last play on 4th down, as it's 4th down and I believe 3.5 from the Greenville Lions 13-yard line.
And so he did go out of bounds, which stopped the clock, which in this case for the Lions is actually good on the off chance that something crazy happens here.
But it does look like Corsicana still called their timeout as we expected, and we're going to see what goes down here.
Yeah, and you know, if you're Greenville, you just got to hope at this point for something crazy, miraculous to happen on the get a block or something. Is
just shanks it. He shanks it and he misses and we win.
True. So I got to get something going here for sure.
Zuniga's walking on the field.
It kind of makes me wonder if we see a potential last-second timeout for the Lions.
Yeah.
to try to ice the kicker here.
There's always those mind games as a coach, you know. You see it more in the pros, but you can still ice the kicker in high school football.
Yeah.
And it's likely that we will see that, as, you know, maybe Zuniga's even ready for that one, as he's walking out there right for a 30-yard field goal to try and take the lead on this one by 1 point.
And I believe you said we saw him hit a 43 before the game, so it's in his range, but hopefully the Lions will be able to do something here to break this up. And he is going to call a timeout.
And he missed it.
And he missed it.
It was blocked.
It was blocked by Greenville, so, you know, you try to do something good there and you kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
So maybe they're going to have a talk. Maybe they're going to say, hey, block that guy next time.
Yeah.
And
hey, what you did there, do it again.
We can only hope Greenville can make that kind of play again.
They wouldn't have gotten this. We didn't see the touch or the timeout. That's what it would have happened.
Yeah, coach was ready for that one, as he was standing right next to the ref right as they went to snap, and he called that timeout and he was ready. So once again, we'll see Zuniga and the team try it out for this 30-yard field goal, as Lions are hoping and praying on the sideline for a miss or another block from Lewis. I would like to see them throw Renner back on the field for this block, but he's
definitely in his head right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So Zuniga's set up for a 30-yarder here. As it's getting loud here in Greenville, and understandably so, of course. Snap is up, it's high. It's blocked! It's blocked! And that should be it, folks. That should do it tonight for your Greenville Lions.
Well, that's pure luck and skill from the Greenville Lions right there. Is you don't normally see two kicks get blocked back-to-back plays. As that kicking team was definitely slow in what they do. So
yeah, and we see there that was just a matter of who wants it more. I mean, that was just a fantastic hustle play there by the Lions.
You just gotta breathe, man.
Well, after some shoddy play calls and lack of punting, Greenville's going to take this one.
Yeah, and just a fantastic play there.
Everybody got to rush the field now. Yeah, they're going to rush the field.
And Greenville's about to do something they haven't done all season, and they're going to step up in victory formation. And
Take it easy.
please just carefully take a knee and draw this one out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and they've got everybody up there set up and ready, as there's 43 seconds left on the clock here, and this should be hopefully enough to bring this one to the close here.
Quite an odd victory formation from the Lions, as everybody expects that one, and that's going to be enough to call this one a game. And the Greenville Lions have just won their first football game of the season, I believe.
And that'll be all it took, folks.
Look at how happy they are.
Go 0-10. As that was just a fantastic play on special teams by the Lions there. And, you know, it's not the easiest thing in football by any means to block a kick. And it's definitely not easy to block it twice. So great play there by the Lions. And they were both by Aiden Lewis, weren't they?
Yes, they were. Aiden Lewis made two big-time plays.
So, and as the clock hits 0, folks, that is the ball game here, as we see both sides shaking hands, cheerleaders cheering on, as that brings our final score: Greenville Lions 16, Corsicana Tigers 14. You can visibly see the excitement from all the cheerleaders, flashes on the sideline, band, everybody. And of course, we saw it from the football players right after it happened, and we'll see it some more after they're done shaking hands.
Well, tell your brothers, tell your mothers, Greenville Lions won a football game this season, and hopefully going to win some more.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, we got a crazy game next week coming up. And so hopefully the Lions will be able to ride this wave into next week a little bit. as we go to Crandall next week, who has been fantastic this season. They lost their first game of the season tonight. Well, I presume they did. At halftime, they were down by like 40 points to Midlothian Heritage. So definitely going to be a crazy game next week. So, Archer, you have anything else?
Not much. Just congratulations to the Lions team, and happy to see that go on.
Yeah, me too. Definitely a great game, and glad this one happened at our home stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. Good one for the kids and the fans.
Yeah. Matthew, do you have anything else?
Yeah, tonight was the teacher appreciation, and we didn't give out a shout out to Danny Black because he didn't get to be on the field this afternoon, right?
Yeah. So with it being teacher appreciation, we wanted to give a shout out to Danny Black, who takes care of us up here in the press box and takes care of a lot of stuff up here in Greenville. So we really appreciate you, Mr. Black. So as Greenville is all the football players, cheerleaders, flashes, and ROTC are down there as the band plays the school song, and this one's sweet this week as they get to play and listen to it after a win.
It is indeed.
So we'll watch that for a few minutes here, and then we'll sign out here shortly after the conclusion of the song.
Ready?
Yeah. So I'm Bentley Love. With me tonight was Archer O'Neill and Matthew Middleton. We appreciate y'all listening and joining us tonight for the Lions' first win on the season. As for that, thank y'all and good night.
This video has been brought to you by Juice. Juice is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.